On day 1, I spawned onto the beach as a land octopus! Whoa! I have 8 legs and 10 hearts! This is crazy! I wonder what adventure I'll get up to! But my excitement was interrupted when I sensed a presence coming towards me with my heightened octopus senses! I saw a Vindicator chef coming towards me! Ah! Who are you?
You don't know me? Well, I must say I find that rather hard to believe, for I am Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, the most famous celebrity chef in the overworld.
Oh, well, hi then, Chef Clef. I'm Zozo. I'm excited to meet you. What kind of things can you cook?
I can cook anything and everything, but right now I'm feeling like calamari. That's meat from octopus.
Oh no! I slithered away as fast as possible. Lucky for me, I was able to take advantage of my slippery octopus speed to escape certain doom. But I hadn't been able to fully escape yet. Some royal guards who worked for Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, came running after me, and with no weapons, all I could do was slither for my life. I was able to get out of there, but only barely. I need to find some way to defend myself, or I'm gonna go from a land octopus to an overpriced dish in no time. On day 2, I continued slithering across the beach. My run-in with that diabolical chef had left me exhausted, and sadly, it had also left me feeling really hungry. I don't want my hunger bar to fall any further. Time to sample the bounty of the sea. I slithered over to the sea, where luckily I was able to find a fishing rod just lying around. With that, I was able to catch some tasty fish and bring my hunger bar back up. That's more like it. Now let's put a roof over my head. I searched around until I found some trees and broke them down with my tentacles. I was able to make a wooden pickaxe and then mine down into the ground until I'd gathered enough stone to make myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. With the rest of my wood and stone, it wasn't hard to start building my beachside dream house, the perfect place for a land octopus like me to live. It's not much, but it looks cozy and easy to defend. And I'd need to defend it sooner than I thought. One of Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef's minions, the royal guards, ran in towards me.
Hey, there you are! The chef will reward me for capturing you. The great feast is only 99 days away, and it's our job to ensure he has all the ingredients he needs.
I'll never be an ingredient for your evil boss. I swear on all 8 of my tentacles. We squared up and started to battle, and it turned out that 8 limbs are better than 4, cause in the end, I defeated him. Nobody gets to cook me. On day 3, I slithered away from the beach and into the cold swamplands. Who knows what interesting resources I can find out here? I pulled out my fishing rod and tried to fish in one of the pools of swamp water when I heard thundering footsteps in the distance. Moments later, a giant squall golem turned up, ready to battle.
You're one of the ingredients on Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef's recipe list.
Lists? There are even more people your boss wants to cook up?
Yup, and they should be honored. They will find true purpose as one of the chef's delicious dishes. He's a genius. If you could taste the meal he's going to turn you into, you'd give yourself up now.
I'm never ever gonna give up! Least of all to someone who wants to put me in a crock pot. Let's battle! But I may have been an overeager octopus because the squall golem was way tougher than I thought. I was losing a lot of fights and not doing much damage, so I needed to get out of there. As I was running away, I saw an armored piglin hop out of a hidden trapdoor.
Quick, get in here with me.
My mom always taught me to trust strange men hopping out of holes in the ground. I hopped into the trapdoor with the piglin, and we hid together as the squall golem passed above. You really saved my bacon there, armored piglin.
The name's Patrick, and it's not just your bacon I'm looking to save. Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, wants pork on his menu, so I'm in just as much danger as you.
And I guess we better stick together. There's safety in numbers. Come back to my base with me, Patrick.
I've heard worse plans.
From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my base with Patrick the Armored Piglin, my new friend and ally in our joint quest to not get eaten. Alrighty, time to build you a new room. So that's exactly what I did. I gathered up more wood and stone and started constructing a new bedroom above mine, perfect for Patrick to rest his weary head. He seemed impressed with my work.
Thanks for this, Zozo. Great work. If you don't mind, I'm gonna hit the hay for the rest of the day. It's been a long week.
No problem, man. As Patrick went to bed, I started exploring the beach, hoping to find more interesting treasures. Instead, I found another little group of royal guards, and they were looking for a fight.
Only 95 days until the grand feast. We can't let this sketchy cephalopod get away.
What followed wasn't an easy fight, as guard after guard ran over to me, but in the end, I came out on top. I noticed that one of the defeated royal guards had dropped something too, a stack of javelins. Finally, a ranged attack. This is going to be so useful. From day 6 to day 8, I was out shepherding sheep. I lured them back to my base, where I built a paddock for them. This will be perfect if I need any wool later. I was wandering the far reaches of the beach again when I encountered something I was a lot less eager to see. Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, now carrying a huge scary machete.
Like my new cooking tool, Zozo? It slices my ingredients nice and fine. I figured I'd give you a first-hand demonstration.
Maybe not. I think I'd prefer to just take your word for it.
Please, Zozo, I insist. Witness a master chef at work.
Victor lunged forward and gave me a slash with his machete, knocking off a bunch of my hearts. For a chef, he was so strong. Couldn't fight back. All I could do was slither away as fast as possible.
You can run, but you can't hide, Zozo. You'll end up in my pot, one way or another.
From day 9 to day 10, I returned to the base, feeling shaken by what a close call that last fight had been. Thankfully, I didn't have much time to dwell on my thoughts, because Patrick the armored piglin was there waiting for me.
Zozo, you're alive!
Barely, Victor almost destroyed me.
But he didn't! That in itself is amazing! Speaking of amazing, I've been working on a statue for you. Something to inspire you to work and fight hard. Go take a look.
So I did. The statue had only just been started, but it still looked so cool. I couldn't tell what it was yet, but I couldn't wait to find out. What about you guys? What do you think? Tell me what you think it is down in the comments. But that wasn't all that Patrick had done while I was away from the base. He'd also built a storage room for us to keep weapons and supplies in. This is such an amazing upgrade. The base is really starting to feel like a true home. From day 11 to day 12, after all those days of construction work on the base, Patrick and I decided to relax together. What's the story behind Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef? How did he end up so powerful?
He was once an average Vindicator, or so I've heard. But he had such a talent for cooking that people started doing favors for him in exchange for a chance to try his food.
Yeah, I can see how that makes someone popular, but he's got a whole army at his beck and call. Royal guards, the squall golem, and who knows what else.
That's because his cooking made him popular with the rich and powerful people. Lords and ladies, kings and queens, business people and military generals. He was so in demand that soon enough, he was as rich and powerful as any of them.
So that's how he became so connected. And I'm guessing the Grand Feast is where he caters to all these rich and powerful people?
You guessed correctly. Anyone wants a seat at the table, and they want us on the plates.
And we're gonna have to destroy Victor before the feast rolls around! From day 13 to day 15, knowing the dangerous scope of Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef's evil plans, I knew that I needed to get stronger and settle some old scores. That's why I returned to the cold swamplands to take on the diabolical squall golem who was waiting for me there.
Oh, there you are, little land octopus. You gave me the runaround last time. This time, I'll really turn you into squid rings.
You said it yourself, squall golem. I'm an octopus, so that joke doesn't even make sense.
Drat, you're right. Let's just fight.
So we did. This time, though, I warmed him up with some laser-focused javelins before going in with my sword and fighting him with everything I had. It wasn't easy, but in the end, he was defeated and I was victorious. But it wasn't just a symbolic victory. I'd gained enough XP to level up and become a bigger, stronger octopus with 30 hearts. I also developed a new power, Invisibility Camouflage, a classic octopus power. This will come in handy against that evil chef. From day 16 to day 19, I decided it was time to give my weapons a level up. That's why I searched the beach until I found an underground mining cavern and slithered down inside. Oh, it's dark down here. Thank goodness octopi are used to slithering around in cold, dark places. After a few hours of searching, I found a vein of iron ore in the ground and used my stone pickaxe to dig it up. This should be enough iron ore to work with. But that's when I realized I wasn't alone in the mining cavern. There was a fungus thrower down there, and you'll never guess what he was doing. That's right, he was throwing fungus. Gross. I won't let you get away with this! I returned fire with my javelins until the fungus thrower was defeated! I retired to my base after that, using the furnace to smelt my iron ore into ingots and build a brand new iron sword and iron pickaxe. Soon I'm gonna have more weapons and tools than I have tentacles! From day 20 to day 22, I woke up with Patrick the Armored Piglin standing in my bedroom.
Zozo, Victor Clef the Vindicator Chef is standing right outside our base.
Oh no, am I having a night terror?
No, Zozo, you're having a day terror. Get up before he runs in here and annihilates us both.
Didn't leave much up to interpretation. I slithered out of bed, grabbed my sword, and turned invisible. I snuck outside to get the jump on Victor. I saw him standing there, right in front of the base, his machete looking as shiny and deadly as ever. I needed to be really careful, even though I was invisible.
That Zozo has got to be around here somewhere. I smell fresh seafood, but I can't see him anywhere.
And now was my chance. It was time for a sneak attack. I ran up behind him, turned visible, and struck him with my sword. He seemed surprised by my attack, and I hit him again before he could even hit me back.
You slippery little molluscule!
The battle was on. Victor was still extremely tough, but this time I was a little more ready to face him. By the time he stepped away from the fight, he looked worn out.
This isn't the best use of my time. I'm going to go and prepare other dishes. I'll come back for you later, Zozo. I'll serve you fresh.
Victor ran off after that. I was amazed I'd survived, but now I also knew there was hope for me, a lowly land octopus, to defeat the deadliest chef in the land. From day 23 to day 26, I was walking around the beach by my base when I spotted something in the sand. Hey, what's this? I took a closer look and saw that it was a shield of the deep. Wow, this is pretty snazzy. It must have washed up on shore. I'm so lucky. I picked up the shield and tried it out. Shield is amazing. I can't wait to try it out in a real fight. As I was walking back to my base with my new shield, I saw something written in the sand. Z-O-Z-O. Hey, that's me. That reminds me, if you want to see more of my adventures, you can find them by searching Z-O-Z-O. From day 27 to day 31, I woke up to the sound of Patrick the Armored Piglin in my room.
Zozo, I've been working on the statue. Come take a look.
I followed him to the statue and admired the progress he'd made. This looks great. I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Thank you. I can tell it's missing something, but I'm not sure what.
What if you added some gold?
That's a great idea. There should be some out in the dunes. Would you be so kind as to go out and gather some for me?
Sure. I traveled to the dunes and started searching for gold. While I was looking around, a group of royal guards spotted me.
Look, that evasive octopus is back. The grand feast approaches. We can't let him get away this time.
Told you before, I'm not gonna be a dish at your feast. I just need some stuff for a statue.
You can come willingly, or we can throw you into the pot ourselves.
Or third option, I do this. I charged at the guards and attacked with my sword. They weren't ready for me to be so bold, and it gave me the advantage I needed to win. From day 32 to day 35, I was happy to begin another day where I wasn't somebody's meal. The feast getting closer, they're gonna be more desperate to catch me. I'll need to be on guard and do everything I can to get stronger.
Excuse me? I know you're talking to yourself right now, but could you maybe help me out?
I looked, and there was a poisoned anemone in front of me. Oh, sure. What do you need help with?
Someone working for Chef Clef kidnapped my friend, the killer bunny. He said something about making her into rabbit stew, and I'm so worried. I'm not much of a fighter, so I'd really appreciate it if you could lend a tentacle.
Heck, I'll lend all 8. Show me where to go. From day 36 to day 39, I followed the poison anemone's directions and listened for the sound of a killer bunny in danger. I ended up outside of a small base further along the dunes and stopped when I heard a terrified voice coming from inside.
Help! Somebody help!
I turned invisible and snuck inside. There, I saw a strider keeping the killer bunny locked up in a cage. So I snuck up behind the strider and turned visible just in time to strike him with my sword.
Ouch! Where'd you come from? Never mind, an octopus and a rabbit will surely give me an invitation to the great feast.
All this for a party you're not even invited to? That's pretty sad, buddy.
Shut up! You're the sad one!
From day 40 to day 43, I continued my fight with the strider. He lunged at me, but I countered with another attack. And before long, he was knocked down for good. Bunny, I'm here to help. I grabbed a key off the ground and unlocked the cage.
Thank you so much. I thought I was going to wind up as somebody's soup for sure.
Not on my watch. I'm on that ingredient list too. We've got to stick together so we don't end up on a plate. Your friend sent me. Come on. I led the killer bunny back to the poison anemone, and he couldn't have been happier.
Here, I want you to take this potion of healing as a thank you. I spent so much time being poisonous, it's given me a real talent for making healing potions. You wouldn't believe how much they come in handy.
Thank you. You both stay safe. Watch out for Chef Clef and his goons. From day 44 to day 49, I finally managed to gather some gold after my side quest was complete. So I headed back to my base to give Patrick the armored piglin everything he needed to finish the statue. Patrick, I've got your gold.
Thank you so much, Zozo. We'll get right to work.
Well, Patrick's working on the statue. Maybe I should start a project too. Oh, I know. I'll build a perimeter wall to keep the base safe, in case Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef, tries to break in and cook me up again. I built a huge wall around the perimeter of the base, and when I was finished, I took a step back and admired my work. Awesome! I definitely feel a lot safer now. I wonder how it's going with Patrick. I headed back over to check out the statue, and the gold really added a lot to it. This looks great, Patrick. Nice job.
Can you tell what it is yet?
Not yet, but there's definitely something familiar about it. I can't wait to see how it looks when it's done.
I'm almost there.
From day 50 to day 53, I was starting to feel nervous. We're halfway to the great feast, and I'm scared that Chef Clef is going to try something sneaky. I'm sure he and his goons are starting to get desperate. Just then, Patrick, the armored piglin, ran to my room to confirm my fears.
Zozo, there are a bunch of royal guards breaking through the perimeter wall.
Oh no, is Chef Clef with them?
No, but he's nearby. I can hear him yelling orders to all of them.
So he won't even face me himself. That cowardly so-and-so. I charged out of my room, and sure enough, there were royal guards storming my home.
Grab the piglin, then get the octopus.
No, get away from him! I tried to stop the royal guards, but a whole bunch of them attacked me to keep me busy, while one grabbed Patrick and dragged him away. I'll come save you as soon as I can, I promise. The royal guards closed in around me, but I fought back, taking them out one by one. When I finally finished, I grew into a bigger octopus. My hearts increased to 50, and I realized I had a new ability. Whoa, I can shift shape now. You watch yourself, Chef. I'm going to get my friend back. From day 54 to day 57, I went into my room and thought about what just happened. What should I do? I need to figure out a way to get Patrick back. If only I knew someone who had dealt with a kidnapped friend before. Wait a minute, I do know someone. That poisoned an enemy. I don't have much time to waste. I need to go to the dunes now. I ran to the dunes as fast as my tentacles could carry me and stopped at the poisoned enemy's home. Hello, it's Zozo. I need your help.
Oh, Zozo, welcome. Anything for the octopus that helped me get Bunny back?
Chef Clef kidnapped my friend. I think he wants to turn him into bacon. I have to get him back.
Yikes, that's terrible. Well, he probably took your friend back to his base. So you'll definitely need to bring your strongest weapons if you're gonna make it in and out of there without getting grilled. Literally. Do you have any diamond weapons?
Not yet.
Then my advice is to get mining, and fast. Then check the Flowering Grove. I've heard that Chef Clef holds his prisoners in a base there.
From day 58 to day 62, I rushed back into the mines. Okay, diamonds, time to get mine. So anyway, I started mining, and I kept digging until I saw something sparkly. Yes, diamonds! I dug up all the diamonds and was getting ready to carry them back to my base when a spider suddenly crawled out of the shadows and bit me. Hey, back off, creepy crawly. I thought us eight-legged freaks could stick together, but I guess not. Spider didn't answer. He bit me again. Come on, I guess I'll have to squash this bug. I attacked the spider with my sword and managed to defeat it pretty quickly. Can't let a spider slow me down while I'm trying to get ready for a rescue mission. I took the diamonds back to my base and used them to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. Look at this. I'm so ready to fight Chef Clef now. From day 63 to day 66, I was trying out my new diamond sword and practicing my fighting. I was running all over the base, getting really carried away, and before I knew it, I ended up looking at the statue that Patrick had been working on. Oh, I almost forgot. I made this sword for a reason. I can't forget my mission. I have to go to Chef Clef's base and get Patrick back. He's not gonna want to end up on a banquet table. I won't let that happen. I took one more look at that beautiful statue. Still can't tell what it is, but I'll make sure Patrick gets the chance to finish it. Also, before I forget, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing adventures in Minecraft. Time for me to go and save my friend. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to the Flowering Grove to try and fight for my friend back. It didn't take me long to spot Chef Clef's base. It was huge and evil looking, and I knew right away that it belonged to a bad guy. I couldn't run right inside. There were royal guards stationed all over the place. I guess I'll have to fight my way in.
Oh look, it's that slippery octopus that keep eluding our grasp. Quick, capture him so the chef can prepare him. The feast is only 30 days away. Maybe he can serve roasted pig and octopus.
No one's gonna eat me or any of my friends. I don't care what kind of huge feast you have planned. Chef Clef is just going to have to deal with the disappointment.
No one disappoints the Vindicator Chef. Perish for your foolish words.
With that, the royal guards charged at me. Using my diamond sword, I fought them all until there was no more guards left. Wait a minute, I can shapeshift now. I'll turn into a guard, and no one will know it's me. I shapeshifted into a royal guard and headed inside. I just have to keep walking and look confident. They'll never know the difference. From day 71 to day 74, I was strolling through the Vindicator Chef's base as casually as I could. I even whistled to myself a little bit, just to look like I was extra casual. But a little while into my exploration, a squall golem confronted me.
You, God, what are you doing in this area? You're supposed to be patrolling outside and keeping an eye out for that octopus.
I'm on a special mission from the boss. Yeah, that's it.
I didn't hear anything about a special mission. That sounds pretty suspicious to me. Say, what's the Royal Guard secret handshake? If you're really a god, surely you know the handshake.
It's a big thumbs up.
Intruder! Intruder!
A squall golem attacked me, and I shifted back into my true shape.
I knew it! You're that octopus!
I may not be a real guard, but I still can fight! The squall golem lunged at me, and I countered with my diamond sword. I was so much stronger than before. He was big and tough, but I still managed to defeat him. That was a close one. I hope nobody hurt him. As I was getting ready to leave the room, I spotted a chest. Ooh, what's in here? I opened it up and found a full set of diamond armor. Hey, this matches my sword, and it'll protect me. Functional and fashionable.
Help! Help! Somebody help!
Patrick, you must be in here. I turned invisible and followed the sound of Patrick's voice. From day 75 to day 78, I snuck into the next area of the base, using my invisibility to stay out of sight. I found myself in the chef's kitchen, and there, in a cage in the corner, was Patrick the Armored Piglin. Oh no, it looks like he's getting ready to cook Patrick.
Let's see, how should I prepare you? Barbecue pork, bacon, sausage? Why stop at just one way? You've got a lot of meat on your bones. I can make all three.
Please, don't eat me!
I'm afraid it can't be helped. I have a lot of people to feed at my feast, and I have a reputation of culinary excellence to uphold. Some sacrifices must be made. You don't get to be a world-famous celebrity chef without them. You know the expression. If you want to make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs. In this scenario, you're one of the eggs.
At that moment, I turned visible again and drew my sword. He's not an egg, he's my friend.
Oh, Zozo! How nice of you to deliver yourself straight to my kitchen. Good news! I've decided to upgrade you from appetizer to main course.
While he was gloating, I attacked, knocking the chef back. While he was recovering from the hit, I quickly unlocked the cage and set Patrick free. Run, Patrick, run home! I'll meet you there!
Thank you, Zozo. Be careful!
Patrick ran out of the room, and I turned back to the Vindicator Chef to continue our fight. But when I looked, he was gone. Hey, where'd you go? We weren't done fighting. Could hear his voice coming from another room.
Oh, we'll fight again, Zozo. And next time, it'll end with you on a serving platter.
From day 79 to day 84, I ran out of the Vindicator Chef's base and started my journey home. Meanwhile, in his back room, Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef, was whipping up a new culinary creation. It wasn't a dish this time, but a potion.
This may not be my most delicious recipe, but it will bring me a truly tasty victory. Potion of strength. Let's see how you do.
He drank the potion and became larger. He flexed his new muscles and cackled evilly.
I'd like to see you try and defeat me now, Zozo. With this new power, there isn't an ingredient in the land who can escape me. I'll cook anything and anyone I please.
From day 85 to day 89, I arrived back at my base. When I got there, Patrick was waiting for me.
You did it, Zozo. You saved me. You're amazing. Thanks for saving my bacon back there.
Of course, you're my friend. But the fight isn't over. Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef, got away from me before I could try to finish the battle. I don't know what he's planning next.
Me neither, but I do have something that I think can help you. On my way out of the base, I found this book. It contains a fire aspect enchantment. You can enchant your sword and use it to set fire to a target. Let's see how the chef likes being cooked for a change.
Awesome, I'll try it out.
While you do, I'm gonna finally finish that statue.
I used my fire aspect enchantment to enchant my sword, and it worked great. By the time I was done, Patrick was finished with the statue, so I decided to take a look at it. Wow, it's amazing.
Can you tell what it is now?
Yes, it's an octopus. Thank you, Patrick. I love it.
I hope that the confidence from this octopus statue and the power of your new enchanted sword give you the strength to defeat the Vindicator Chef. The feast is getting closer and closer, and we have to be ready.
What else can I do to get ready?
I've heard there's a potion of power hidden out in the dunes. The area is protected by royal guards, but I know you can beat them and get inside.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed Patrick's instructions and traveled to the dunes. Once I was there, all I had to do was look for the cluster of royal guards, and then I knew I was in the right place.
Infernal octopus! You won't get away from us this time!
Well, I've gotten away every other time, so I think my odds are pretty good. They didn't like that very much, and they charged at me to attack. But I set them ablaze with my newly enchanted sword and burnt them all to a crisp. I hope the chef likes his guards well done. There was no one around to hear my hilarious joke, but I laughed at it anyway. Next, I headed into the building and looked for that potion. Chest! I bet it's in here. I broke the chest open, and I was right. There was a potion of power inside. Can I drink it right now? No, I'd better wait until I really need it. This will be my secret ingredient. From day 95 to day 97, I traveled back to my base. The feast is only a few days away. I'm running out of time to prepare. Let's see, I've got the enchantment on my sword. I've got a potion of power. What else can I do to make sure I'm ready? Just then, I heard someone at the entrance to my base. Uh-oh, I wonder who that is. When I went to check, I was happy to see that it was the poison anemone.
Zozo, I've heard you're getting ready to take down Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef. I want to help.
Really? But you're safe from him. He doesn't want to cook with the poison anemone. You'd make his dinner guests sick.
That may be true, but he's targeted my friends. Once you go after people I care about, that gets me pretty steamed. No pun intended. So I brought you this. I never had much use for it, but I bet a warrior like you could get a lot out of it.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but my jaw dropped when he produced a full set of netherite armor. Whoa, this stuff is really rare.
Is it? I don't know much about fighting. I'm an anemone without many enemies, you see. But I'm glad. If it can help protect the creatures on the chef's ingredient list, then I know I've done my part. Bunny would be hopping mad at me if I didn't contribute something, and I'd be pretty mad at myself too.
Well, you've helped a ton. Thank you. For a poisoned enemy, you're really nice.
Well, even though I'm poisonous, I try not to be toxic. Good luck, Zozo.
On day 98, I spent the day getting all of my gear together. I had my netherite armor, my sword, my potion of power, and all of the strength and encouragement I got from my friends. I feel like I finally have everything I need. The only thing left to do now is get back to the Vindicator Chef's lair and put a stop to this. Only 2 days until the feast, and the only thing I want to be served is justice. As I was about to leave, I couldn't help but feel like I was forgetting something. Oh, I know! Don't forget to search for more Zozo videos, and leave a comment about who you want to see me play as next. On day 99, I made my journey to the Flowering Grove, back to the lair of Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef. No guard outside. Guess I finally defeated all of them. I don't know what's waiting for me inside. I think now is the moment for my secret ingredient. Let's see how much power this potion really has. I grabbed the potion of power and drank every last drop. Whoa, I definitely feel it! Immediately, I started to transform into an even bigger, stronger, tougher octopus than before! I'm huge! And my hearts have increased! I have 100 now! Okay, it's time to go in! Feeling powerful, I let my tentacles carry me inside the base! No shape-shifting or invisibility this time. I want the chef to see me coming and know what he's up against. I found him in the kitchen. Whoa, he looks a lot bigger than last time. Good thing I'm much bigger too.
Well, look at you. I guess I'll be serving very generous portions of octopus as a feast tomorrow.
No one's going to be eating anything except for you and this humble pie I'm about to serve.
I'm not familiar with that particular cuisine.
It's an expression. It means I'm gonna kick your butt. The Vindicator chef lunged at me, knocking me back, but my new armor protected me from taking any damage. Now, it's my turn. I drew my sword and used the fire enchantment, setting the Vindicator chef on fire.
Ow, 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 you cut that out!
It's not fun being cooked, is it?
You can't do this to me! I'm famous! I'm a celebrity!
I don't care how famous you are. You can't keep hurting people, especially not my friends. He tried to attack me again, but he was too weak now, and in just one more hit, I finally managed to defeat him. On day 100, I traveled back home. Can't believe I did it! Everyone is safe now! When I arrived home, I saw that Patrick was throwing a big party for me. First, I spoke to Patrick.
Congratulations, Zozo. I knew you could do it.
And then, the poison anemone.
You saved the day! You saved everyone! What are you gonna do now?
Honestly, all that fighting worked up a pretty big appetite. I kind of feel like having a feast. On day 1, I spawned into the beautiful flower forest as an elemental monkey. Ooh, this is awesome! I'm out here living my best monkey life. But some people didn't want me to live my best monkey life. Or rather, some skeletons. I saw one of them coming towards me through the flowers.
Trespasser! Stop in the name of the law! You shouldn't be here!
But I just spawned here. It isn't my fault. How about you just point the way out and I'll leave?
It doesn't work like that! There are spies everywhere, and if I have a reason to believe you're one of them, I'm taking you in for interrogation.
I really didn't want to be interrogated, so in sheer panic, I just turned and ran as fast as I could until I couldn't even see the scary skeleton behind me. I don't know why they're picking on me. I'm just a baby elemental monkey with 10 hearts. It's not like I could do any real damage to them. But my thoughts were interrupted when suddenly another skeleton with a bow popped out in front of me.
Stop right there, criminal! You make any sudden movements, and you'll taste the steel of my arrowheads.
Okay, what do you want me to do? I'll follow your commands if you don't hurt me.
Come with me then, and no funny stuff. My arrow finger is extremely itchy.
And so, I followed the skeleton through the flower forest, worrying about my future. On day 2, the skeleton with the bow led me towards a dark, dreary base in the middle of the flower forest. It didn't look like anything good went on in there. Maybe we can just talk this out, Mr. Skeleton?
You've already tried to run, criminal. That's why we're keeping you on a short leash. We'll talk, sure, but only when we have you behind bars. Now move it.
I was sent into the deep, dark depths of the base and locked away in a large and sinister holding cell. But I wasn't the only one in there. There was also a wandering trader.
A fellow businessman, unfairly imprisoned for merely trying to make a living in this hard, cold world. It isn't easy being a wandering trader in this world, is it, my boy?
Oh, I think you're a little confused. I'm not a wandering trader. I'm an elemental monkey who just got trapped after I spawned. My name's Zozo.
Oh, Zozo, I see. Well, either way, we're in this together, old chap. Perhaps we could start a business. $1 million idea. We'll be rich, I tell you, rich.
I don't know if we'll ever make any money if we're still trapped in here. We need to figure out a way to escape. I wonder if I have any elemental monkey powers. I concentrated hard, and suddenly, I fired an ice blast. Okay, this has potential. I blasted ice against the wall until a section of it was frozen, and then smashed through it, freeing myself and the wandering trader.
Brilliant work, my friend. I'd go with you, but I need to go speak with my shareholders. May we meet again, Zozo?
Good luck with all your, business stuff, trader. I ran off, feeling pretty sick of the flower forest. Hopefully, there are some chiller folks elsewhere. On day 3, I went to the frozen peaks, knowing I'd probably be safe from the skeletons there. I'm freezing out here, so imagine how cold a skeleton would be. They don't even have any skin. But I wasn't just cold, I was also hungry. Because it was so cold out there, I wouldn't be able to find any yummy bananas. Instead, I was able to find some yummy winter-kissed carrots. Snow and carrots. Such a classic combination. Who doesn't enjoy eating that? Having had my fill of the carrots, I carried on exploring the frozen peaks, hoping that I could find something that would help warm me up. But instead of finding a nice warm coat or a crackling fire, I instead found a huge creature, the towering High Reaver. Oh no, are you going to attack me too?
Why would I attack you, monkey? Are you going to attack me?
No?
Then we have nothing to worry about. I am the mighty High Reaver, and these are my frozen peaks.
Oh, that's great. Do you know where I can find somewhere warm? I'm kind of freezing out here.
Yes, I believe I could take you somewhere nice and warm, but you'll need to do me some favors in exchange. Follow me, Zozo.
It was only as I followed him away that I started to wonder if I ever told him my name. From day 4 to day 5, the High Reaver took me to his base up in the frozen peaks, which was warmed by a huge roaring fireplace.
My apologies for the mess. If I knew I'd be entertaining guests, I would have cleaned up a little.
Please, no need to apologize. This place is amazing. How did you build something like this? It's huge.
It wasn't always me. Once I had workers, so many of them, and they loved working for me. I kept them all warm and happy and safe in here, until one day...
One day? What happened?
Well, some terrible, terrible people banded together and attacked my base. All my workers were either destroyed or chased away, and I was left all alone.
Oh no, that's horrible.
And that's not even the worst part. The ones who did this are still out there, walking free after they destroyed my life.
I can't let something like that stand. I'll help you get revenge on all the people who did this to you, High Reaver.
That's very kind of you, Zozo. In exchange, I will bestow upon you power and tools.
Suddenly, the High Reaver transferred some of his power to me. It was amazing. I got bigger, stronger. I now had 20 hearts in total, and a new power, the Claw Attack. After that, the High Reaver gave me a stone sword and a stone pickaxe. Thank you, High Reaver. I'm gonna go build my base somewhere a little warmer, but then I'll begin my quest for you. I went to the glowing ancient forest, where I felt more confident in my elemental powers, and started mining stone and collecting wood from trees. It didn't take me long to start building a basic base where I could at least sleep at night. After it was done, I stood back and took it all in, finally appreciating that I could have a place of my own. But my appreciation was interrupted by one of the skeletons from earlier suddenly emerging, his bow at the ready.
There you are. I knew you couldn't be trusted. I'm not giving you a second chance this time.
But before he could shoot me, I blasted him with an ice blast and then ran in, finishing him off with my claws. Nobody is pushing this elemental monkey around anymore. From day 6 to day 8, I was hanging around at my base for a while, psyching myself up for my next meeting with the High Reaver. I was excited to go on the mission, but I'd only ever fought a skeleton before, so I didn't know if I was ready. Am I gonna be strong enough to take on the people who kidnapped or destroyed all of the High Reaver's beloved workers? While I was thinking it over, I saw a familiar face, the wandering trader, walking through the glowing ancient forest. I immediately ran over to see how he was doing.
Zozo, my boy, such a delight to see you in such troubling times. I hope all of your own ventures and enterprises are going well. Business marches on.
I told you before, trader, I'm not a business guy. But what do you mean, troubling times?
Oh, you see, I travel all the way across the overworld, trading this and that, doing business and such. But lately, well, something is wrong. Missing people, destroyed villages. It's like there's a plague across the land.
There's no way this is a coincidence. It must be the same people the High Reaver told me about. I need to look into this further. I left at once, and later that day, I arrived at the High Reaver's base and told him I was ready to take on my first mission.
It's good to see that you're eager, Zozo. You'll be doing me and the world a great service. First, you must go further into the frozen peaks and annihilate the Onion Queen.
I still remember all the terrible things she did. Destroy her, and we will go from there.
Yes, High Reaver, I'll do it at once. From day 9 to day 10, I made my way to the frozen peaks, climbing higher and higher as I went to take on the Onion Queen, my first big enemy. I wasn't quite sure what horrible things she'd done. The High Reaver hadn't gone into much detail about it, but maybe that was because her crimes were too terrible to even talk about. Soon after, we met face to face.
Halt! Who dares approach her regal onioness?
The Onion Queen, we meet at last.
Let me guess. A lackey for the High Reaver. Of course. How predictable.
Yeah, I'm here to take you down.
You'd be wise to reconsider your next actions. There are more layers than you could possibly understand. Otherwise, this will all end in tears.
Let's see, shall we? I leapt into the battle, using my elemental monkey ice blast and claw attacks, along with my stone sword. But I couldn't cut through all the Onion Queen's protective layers. I wasn't tough enough yet. All I could do was flee. Suddenly, someone else came speeding in. He was some kind of sorcerer who could wield powerful rock attacks. I watched in awe as he was able to defeat the Onion Queen.
I'm glad I found you, elemental monkey.
Hey, I'm Zozo. Who are you?
I am the last of the noble geomancers, masters of the elements of Earth. Time is short. We must get you to safety and train you to harness all the elements.
Hold on, I'm not so sure about this. I think I should go and speak to the High Reaver first.
Your path is your own, Zozo. Seek me out if you find yourself lost.
From day 11 to day 12, I made my way back to the High Reaver's base. Things were just getting stranger and stranger. I wasn't sure who to side with. The High Reaver seemed like he was just a guy in need of help. But what had that old geomancer wanted to train me for?
You've done well, Zozo. With the Onion Queen no longer stinking up the place, our plans can move forward. I need you to complete another task for me.
The High Reaver sent me off to a deep cave nearby to mine for some useful resources that I could craft iron armor with. After all, I might need the added protection on my quest. There wasn't much in the way of enemies down there, but I came across some iron ore and was able to use a furnace to make iron ingots. With these ingots, I made a few iron armor pieces, as well as an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. But then, just as I was leaving the cave and venturing off, I was ambushed by some icy creepers. I tried using my ice blast on them, but quickly realized they could withstand the freezing cold. So instead, I had to resort to using my sword to shatter each of them before heading off to my next objective from the High Reaver. From day 13 to day 15, I traveled to the ancient glowing forest in search of another of the High Reaver's enemies. He'd told me to seek out an Alpha's hyena, but wouldn't really explain why he needed me to take care of it. I assumed, like I had done with the Onion Queen, that this hyena had wronged the High Reaver in some way, perhaps being responsible for him losing all of his workers. But the High Reaver seemed oddly evasive about the specific details. When I spotted the Alpha hyena, I'd been expecting to come across a wild, ferocious beast. But instead, it was just an ordinary animal taking care of its pack. This didn't make any sense. Why would the High Reaver want me to destroy innocent animals? The Alpha hyena wasn't hurting anyone. In fact, it was just gathering food and providing for its hyena pups, taking care of its family. I couldn't go through with it. I had to get a straight answer. So instead of attacking the Alpha hyena, minding its own business, I decided I'd return to the High Reaver to get my answers. From day 16 to day 19, I marched back to the High Reaver's base, full of purpose and determined to get an honest answer out of him.
That was fast. Did you take care of the Alpha hyena?
No, I came back for the truth. What really happened to your workers? And why are you sending me out to defeat all of these mobs? What's really going on here?
Zozo, I have already told you all you need to know. I suggest you go and cool off somewhere, little elemental monkey.
Unsatisfied with that response, I headed back to my base, deep within the ancient glowing forest. When I got there, my pal, the wandering trader, was there waiting for me.
Oh, thank goodness, Zozo, you're here. I need your help.
Why? What's going on?
It's the High Reaver. He was the one behind the plague across the land. Someone must have angered him. He's attacking a nearby village as we speak. It's just terrible for business.
The High Reaver had really been evil this whole time. He tricked me into doing his dirty work. Full of rage, I rushed to try and stop him, and sure enough, came across him ransacking some of the ancient glowing forest.
We could have worked together, Zozo. I would have trained you. A powerful elemental monkey with control over all the natural elements could have been perfect for reshaping the land in my image. But if you won't follow me, then I'll just have to tear everything down and rebuild from scratch.
I leapt in to try and fight the High Reaver, but he was much stronger than I could have anticipated. In my anger, I lost my concentration. He hit me with a powerful energy blast that sent me flying, and I hit my head so hard that I fell unconscious. From day 20 to day 22, I finally came back around. By the time I woke up, the High Reaver was gone, and the area within the ancient glowing forest had been destroyed. I swore I'd stop the High Reaver somehow. Nobody was ever going to trick this elemental monkey again.
Excuse me, I saw you trying to fight off that brute, the High Reaver. You made a valiant effort. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the Mandragora Prince, and I believe I was who the High Reaver was after. That's why he attacked this place.
Oh, how come?
Well, you see, he's on a rampage, trying to remove anyone that might be a threat to his power. The Onion Queen is already gone, although she really was the worst. But now, I fear I may be next.
Okay, Prince, you better follow me. I'll give you a place to stay for now, hopefully where the Reaver won't find you. We made our way back to my base, and I went out to chop down some trees, gathering wood to make wooden panels so I could build the Mandragora Prince his own room. It helped to take my mind off of things for a little while. From day 23 to day 26, I decided to retrace my steps back to the Flower Forest to see if I could uncover any more information about the High Reaver or what I could do as an elemental monkey in order to stop him. But it was while I was there, I once again encountered a familiar face.
Get away! I said get away! You can't attack me! Think of all my business ventures! My portfolio would be ruined if I'm destroyed by… ew, mushrooms!
It was the Wandering Trader! He was under attack, with some nearby fungus throwers hurling poisonous spores at him. The Wandering Trader ran for it, and I rushed in and tore one of the fungus throwers up with my claw attack, freezing the other with an ice blast. When the coast was clear, the trader re-emerged.
Zozo, many thanks again. If you keep saving me like this, I might have to put you on retainer.
Well, that's your business, I guess. From day 27 to day 31, while searching for answers around the Flower Forest, I came across a flock of lost sheep. They looked to me like they'd previously been looked after and cared for, but were now wandering the wild. Of course, they must have lived at one of the villages that the High Reaver destroyed. So I decided I would adopt them and bring them back to my base. I headed back home with the sheep in tow and got to work building a pen for them. I crafted some wooden fencing and arranged it so there'd be plenty of space for the sheep to roam about. They'd be much safer than roaming about unprotected in the wild. Then, the Mandragora Prince approached.
Zozo, while you've been gone, I've been working on a game room for us. Just a little token of my appreciation for you letting me stay here.
Wow, your princeliness. This looks great. You don't need to thank me though. I'm happy to help. Anything that'll make it easier to take down the High Reaver. Speaking of the High Reaver, he was making upgrades and allies of his own up at his base in the Frozen Peaks.
Ah, Vex, my diabolical old friend. You've returned to serve me once again.
Yes, High Reaver. What would you ask of me?
My plans have to accelerate. I thought I could trick that elemental monkey to my side. But now, we must make sure Zozo never reaches his full potential.
From day 32 to day 35, I decided I'd try a new approach, making some more allies of my own. After all, I had already clashed with the High Reaver once in a one-on-one, and it hadn't ended well for me. And before, when I'd been trying to evade the skeletons, I hadn't really listened to their side of things, and the High Reaver had used that to make me think they were the bad guys. That's why I returned to their base in the Flower Forest, but I wasn't given a warm welcome.
Hold it right there! It's you again! You're with the High Reaver. We knew you couldn't be trusted.
Without warning, the skeletons attacked. I had to take cover using my monkey agility to dodge their arrows. I needed to convince them that I didn't mean any harm. No, wait, I'm not with him. I was tricked, but I came back here to make amends. It must have worked because they stopped firing, but kept their bows trained on me.
You better come with us. The shepherd will want to speak with you.
They took me to their leader, a wise old shepherd. Say, did you lose some sheep lately?
My name is more of a metaphor. These skeletons are my flock. You see, Zozo, we were once the workers for a beastly tyrant. He commanded us to build a kingdom for him, and we had no choice but to obey. but he planned on working us to death, so we turned our backs on him before it was too late. In retaliation, he put a curse on those of us that passed, so that their bones may never rest.
He really is the worst, but I intend to stop him.
If what you say is true, then I ask you to prove your fealty. Then I will be able to share more with you.
From day 36 to day 39, after making a rocky start with the skeletons and the shepherd, I ventured off to mine for some more iron ore. I needed to complete my set of iron armor. It looked like my luck was beginning to turn around, because the iron wasn't all I managed to find. Buried deep in the cave were diamonds. Not enough to use just yet, but definitely worth hanging on to. By the time I returned back to the base, there was someone waiting for me that I'd never seen before. He told me that his name was Mason, and he'd been sent as a messenger by the shepherd.
He needs your help, Zozo. The time has come to prove your fealty. If you can act fast, then the shepherd and his skeletons will be at your side.
Before I left to aid the skeletons, I turned iron ore into iron ingots and forged myself a full set of iron armor. Better to be safe than sorry. From day 40 to day 43, I rushed to the location Mason had given me, deep in the heart of the ancient glowing forest. When I arrived, I finally saw the source of all the commotion. Some skeletons were under attack by Vex, the High Reaver's right-hand henchman.
Zozo, we've been trying to fend him off, but we need you.
I don't know if I can. This guy looks tough.
Please, we're counting on your help.
It was me versus Vex, one-on-one. I leapt into the fight and crossed swords with Vex, who seemed to be weirdly happy to see me.
There's the troublesome little elemental monkey I've heard so much about. The High Reaver will reward me handsomely when I bring you back to him in pieces.
We battled hard. I tried using my elemental powers like the Ice Blast. It had no effect. Vex shrugged it off like it was nothing.
Nice try. I don't really feel the cold.
I went in for a claw attack, but it barely left a scratch. It was becoming clear I wasn't going to win this fight, and if I was defeated or captured, I had no hope of ever stopping the High Reaver. So I decided to retreat, ashamed at my weakness. From day 44 to day 49, I headed back to my base, feeling a little crushed that I hadn't been able to defeat Vex or help the skeletons. It was made even worse by the fact that now the shepherd probably wouldn't want to help me anymore in my fight against the High Reaver. At least, that's what I thought at first, only to see him waiting for me when I arrived back at my base.
I owe you an apology, Zozo. I was wrong to bring you into such an intense battle so early, without all the skills and tools you'd need. But you showed a great deal of restraint out there, and initiative too. A fool would have kept fighting. It takes one wiser to know when it's time to retreat and live to fight another day.
Thanks, although retreating won't do much good against the High Reaver.
Well, I might have just the thing for that. As a show of goodwill, I will help you construct something that should take care of the High Reaver once and for all. The Destroyer. It is a powerful weapon, once capable of undoing even the High Reaver. But there is one condition. We must work together to build it.
Under the shepherd's directions, we made a start, making what we needed to create the Destroyer. It was going to be a special build, and the shepherd didn't have all the directions on hand. So after we had done all we could to get started, he pointed me in the right direction to learn more about how to complete the weapon. From day 50 to day 53, I left for the precarious frozen peaks, making sure I was careful to avoid the High Reaver's territory. If I got too close, no doubt he'd launch another attack on me. I was searching the dangerous peaks for a hidden cave. The shepherd said there was a secluded shrine somewhere up there, which contained a book that could tell me more about the Destroyer. After a whole lot of searching, I found what I was looking for. The book was old and dusty, but it told me everything I needed to know. Long ago, a group of mystics had divided the land into different regions, and each of them had taken control of an individual region. However, they learned that one among them was building an empire on the backs of workers, and he was planning to take control of the entire overworld. He was none other than the High Reaver. When the other mystics learned about this, they crafted a magical weapon called the Destroyer. However, it backfired. They were able to weaken the High Reaver and halt his progress, but in doing so, they destroyed their primary weapon against him. But what I was still wondering was, where did I fit into all of this? What was so important about me being an elemental monkey? Those questions would have to wait. I was getting uneasy being in the frozen peaks for too long, so I made my way back to my base. From day 54 to day 57, I was on my way back to my base when I crossed paths with the last person I wanted to see, Vex! He was on his way back to the High Reaver's base after the fight with all the skeletons, and he instantly leapt at me to attack.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? Come to turn yourself in, little monkey? You're making my job too easy. All I have to do is beat you and walk a few more feet to the High Reaver stronghold to collect my kudos.
Back off, Vex. I'm not in the mood for you. We crossed swords once again, and I knew that the horrible henchman was trying to irk me and get under my skin. But as much as I wanted to teach him a lesson once and for all, I had to force myself to remember that I wasn't tough enough to beat him. I could hear the shepherd's wise words too. A fool keeps fighting, but a wiser person knows when it's time to retreat. So I fled and lived to fight another day. Meanwhile, the High Reaver had been watching from afar and wasn't too pleased that I had gotten away.
Vex, you buffoon! We need that elemental monkey gone for good. Only his energy can power the destroyer. He has the potential to harness all the elements, and that makes him the perfect one to wield such a powerful weapon. Do better!
From day 58 to day 62, I was finally able to make it home safely and was greeted warmly by the Mandragora Prince back at my base.
I've really been taking to working on these improvements, Zozo. Come have a look. We have plenty of storage space now if you need a place to stash your weapons and armor.
Sure enough, the prince had whipped up an impressive armory for me, which reminded me my iron armor and iron sword were looking pretty worse for wear. But I still had those diamonds on me, so I headed back to the caves to do some more mining and search for more. After a while spent looking, I hit the mother lode. There were tons of diamonds glimmering in the cave walls, and I quickly pickled them free. Bringing them back to my base, I crafted a shiny new diamond chestplate along with a matching sword and pickaxe. These would be perfect for some added defense as well as extra damage while I was fighting, and the pick would make mining a breeze. From day 63 to day 66, the Mandragora Prince suggested I should try searching for the leftover pieces of the original destroyer to save building it from scratch.
I know exactly the place you could start looking, and with your diamond pickaxe, you should be able to get there with ease.
Following his directions took me to the magma waste, a deadly area filled with dangerous pools of lava. I had to watch my step and make sure I didn't slip and fall to my doom. I couldn't use my ice blast to freeze a safe path. The magma was too hot. But lucky for me, my elemental monkey agility did the trick. With enough searching, I came across an old stone structure that looked like it had been there for a long time. It was too thick for even my diamond pickaxe to get through, but there was a small slot that looked like it had been made for a key. That was a nuisance. I'd have to either finish the destroyer using the book, or come back if I ever found the right key. From day 67 to day 70, the shepherd returned to my base, and I was expecting we'd soon be getting back to work on building the destroyer. But it turned out there was trouble afoot, and the shepherd needed my help to resolve it. I followed the shepherd to where the trouble was occurring, a clearing within the ancient glowing forest where a mighty hellhound was waiting. I'd never seen a beast like it. What could I possibly do against that?
Try to connect with it, Zozo. You are the elemental monkey. You are more attuned with nature than the rest of us. Use that to speak to this creature.
So I left the shepherd to do just that. Nice, hellhound. Maybe stop attacking skeletons? I get you're probably after a bone, right? Well then, heal, boy. The hellhound growled and bounced at me, and I had no choice but to fight back in self-defense. I tried my best not to cause too much harm to the creature. After all, it wasn't working for the High Reaver. It was just an animal living its life, like the alpha hyena I'd seen before. Eventually, after a lot of struggle, I managed to get the hellhound to back down. That's better. Now come and join us. I promise I mean you no harm, but a hellhound like you could help us stop the High Reaver. Oh, sorry, good doggy? That seemed to work. From day 71 to day 74, I returned to my base with the hellhound in tow. But when I arrived, we were ambushed. It was Vex. He'd been following me ever since I'd clashed with him at the Frosty Peaks.
So this is where you've been hiding, Zozo. Why don't you come quietly, or I'll burn your base to ash.
We clashed once more. My new diamond sword was definitely leaving more damage against Vex this time around, but I still wasn't strong enough to beat him.
It's too late, Zozo. We already kidnapped the Mandragora Prince. You can't help anyone.
With that, Vex rushed off. I rushed inside, but it was too late. They'd gone. I was devastated. The prince had been a helpful friend. We needed to work on improving the base, so I set about building a perimeter wall to defend against any further attacks. After all, Vex and the High Reaver now knew where we were. There was no telling if they'd come back. From his base, the High Reaver was thrilled. With the Mandragora Prince captured, there were no other rulers in the area to challenge his ascent to power. His plan to take over was once again coming to fruition. From day 75 to day 78, the shepherd came by the base. Word had reached him and the skeletons that the prince was captured by the Vex. And so he showed up to help with the base, finishing up the extra defenses.
Vex and the High Reaver have a rather strange connection to each other. Vex has been the underling of the High Reaver for as long as anyone can remember. But he has his own ulterior motive too. He's playing the long game, waiting for his master to take control of everything so that he can steal that power right from underneath the High Reaver. Vex wants to overthrow him after all the hard work is done.
Maybe I can turn them against each other somehow. Along with that useful information, the shepherd also offered me a fancy new weapon, a firework crossbow. This was sure to be a blast to use. With that in my arsenal, I headed off to track down Vex and get the Mandragora Prince back to safety. From day 79 to day 84, I followed the tracks left behind by Vex and came across him not long after. He still had the prince held hostage, and there was no time to waste. I had to save my friend and stop the High Reaver's henchmen once and for all.
So coming along to join us, Zozo. You and the prince here can be taken before the High Reaver together.
How long do you think it'll take your boss to realize you want to overthrow him?
Oh, you've done it now. I'll make sure he never finds out when I silence you, little monkey!
I opened fire with my firework crossbow, blinding Vex to start as I rushed in with my diamond sword. But he quickly regained the upper hand, and even with the help of my special attacks and new weapon, I couldn't beat him. I ran away from Vex, instead meeting up with the imprisoned Mandragora Prince.
Zozo, here, I lifted this from Vex's pocket when he captured me.
The Mandragora Prince threw something towards me, a golden apple.
You're an elemental monkey. You're meant to be one with nature. Maybe this magic apple can help you.
I rushed and grabbed the apple. Eating it, I could feel myself getting stronger. It was like my connection to nature had been strengthened more than ever before. Vex started to back away. I now had 60 hearts, and I had unlocked a new ability, a powerful whirlwind attack. I had been connected to the element of air. I left the prince and ran back to battle the Vex one last time.
No!
With a huge gust of wind, I was able to finally defeat Vex. He fell from the frozen peaks until we could no longer see him, leaving the Mandragora Prince and I free to return to the safety of my base. From day 85 to day 89, the prince and I returned to the base, and he imparted some new information to me.
You see, we Mandragora aren't just rival rulers to the High Reaver. He's also afraid of me because I am the last descendant of the Mystics who weakened him and caused his workers to turn against him. And he wasn't the only one to survive. This key has been in my family for many years. It will unlock the tomb of the last Mystic, and in there, you'll find what you need to finish the Destroyer.
With the magic key from the prince, I headed off to the dangerous magma waste to retrieve the components from the original Destroyer. I followed his directions and came across the tomb of the last fallen Mystic, using the magic key to open it up and get inside. However, there was a security measure in place, just in case the High Reaver got his hands on the key. It was a ferocious Ravager guarding the tomb. I drew my diamond sword and hit the Ravager with a blast from my whirlwind attack, knocking it over. I leapt into battle, swinging my sword and even getting a few scratches of my claw attacks in there for good measure. The Ravager was tough, but I took it down and I was able to claim the component I needed to complete the Destroyer. From day 90 to day 94, I was making my way back across the precarious magma waste when a familiar foe approached me. It was the High Reaver!
Ah, there you are, my former friend.
We aren't friends. You tricked me, Reaver. I know all about who you are now, and the horrible things you've done.
What about you, Zozo? You did follow my orders for a time, didn't you? Without you, the Onion Queen would still be alive. So would poor Vex. It isn't too late to redeem yourself, though. Come on, join me. I have need for a new henchman, now that you've bested my last one.
I won't make that mistake twice. I clashed swords with the High Reaver. I knew I couldn't beat him on my own, but I just had to get away. If I could just make it back to my base and finish building the Destroyer, I'd finally have a chance at beating him. But the High Reaver must have known what I was trying to do and used one of his energy blasts to send me flying back into the Mystic's tomb. He caused a cave-in, sealing me inside, and dashed off with the piece I needed to finish the destroyer. I was trapped! From day 95 to day 97, I had to mine my way out of the tomb with my diamond pickaxe. Once I was free, I rushed to warn my allies. Now that the High Reaver had the component of the original destroyer, he'd no doubt be going after anyone who could help me finish mine from scratch. As I made my way back to the Flower Forest, I was horrified to see the skeleton's hideout in ruins. I found the shepherd amongst the wreckage, and he was on the verge of death. I tried to find something that could heal him, but it was already too late.
Zozo, you have to know your part in all of this. The destroyer is just a way to channel power, but it's useless without an already powerful being to wield it. You are that being, an elemental monkey. In your hands, your connection to the natural world could be directed through the destroyer. All the elements combining to defeat the High Reaver. Avenge us, Zozo. Put an end to his tyranny once and for all.
As the shepherd passed on, I swore I'd get revenge and stop the Reaver. On day 98, I rushed back to my base. If the High Reaver had attacked the shepherd to stop me from finishing the destroyer, then maybe he'd been back to my home to wreck the progress I'd made on it so far. Sure enough, I was met with an awful sight I'd been dreading. My base was in ruins. The destroyer I'd been working on was wrecked. Even the sheep pen had been smashed to bits. I sat in what was left of my base, feeling defeated. I'd fought so hard, and now it felt like everything I'd gone through had been for nothing. The High Reaver was so strong, he'd put me right back to square one, just like that.
Don't give up, Zozo.
Mandragora Prince, at least someone survived.
You can't let this stop you, Zozo. Don't you see? This carnage is meant to slow you down because you're closer than ever to beating the High Reaver. Destroying your base and attacking your allies is him acting out of desperation. Remember what the shepherd told you?
Live to fight another day. And I'm still alive, which means I can still stop him.
Exactly. And he's made one mistake. He's made it even easier for you to stop him.
Because he has the piece of the destroyer. With my elemental power, it can still be used to stop him. On day 99, I made my way back to the Frozen Peaks, this time intentionally going to the High Reaver's stronghold. He had no army serving under him. He was just one crazed monster trying to scrabble up power. All I needed to do was get that piece of the destroyer back.
Ah, Zozo, I expect you're not too happy with me.
Yeah, but you're gonna be even less happy when you see what I've got planned.
What? You think you can beat me? You've lost every battle we've ever had. You'd be a fool to keep fighting.
But a wiser person knows when it's time to retreat. We clashed once more, but this time, I wasn't trying to beat the High Reaver one-on-one. I knew I couldn't. Instead, my focus was on one thing, getting back the piece of the destroyer he'd stolen. He was too focused on trying to defeat me that the High Reaver didn't realize what my plan was, until it was too late. I grabbed the component and rushed away, making it back to my base as fast as I could before he could catch up to me. But he wouldn't have to wait too long for me to come back. At my base, with the Mandragora Prince's help, we used the ancient book I'd found and the knowledge he had from his mystic ancestors to focus all of my elemental power into the broken piece of the destroyer. It wasn't going to work the way it was intended, but we had a different plan. Boom! On day 100, our plan had worked. I'd fused with the destroyer and absorbed its power. Now my connection to nature as an elemental monkey was greater than ever. I was so attuned to the elements, I could even restore all the damage done to my base. This would finally allow me to get the upper hand against the High Reaver. Whooshing there with the speed of the wind, I arrived back at the stronghold in the Frozen Peaks as fast as I'd left. The High Reaver was surprised to see me back so soon, and I used that to my advantage. We fought for the last time. I had all the powers and skills I had learned along the way at my disposal. I used my mighty whirlwind attack to knock the Reaver off his feet, then swiped at him with my diamond sword and my claws. Whenever he'd attack me, I'd move out of the way with that smooth fluidity of water, then turn hard as ice when I needed to return the blows to him.
You combined with the destroyer? No, this is not how this is supposed to go.
It was a long, hard fight, but by remembering all the lessons I'd learned, I was finally able to land a final strike on the evil High Reaver!
No!
With one more hit, he fell from his stronghold at the top of the Frosty Peaks and plummeted to the ice below. I had done it! I defeated the High Reaver and stopped his plans to rule the overworld. On day 1, I rose out of the ground as a baby warden skibidi toilet! Whoa, this is one of the weirdest creatures I've ever been! Still, 6 hearts, I better play it safe. Suddenly, a gorilla came rumbling towards me across the plains!
Invader! Invader! You're not meant to be here!
That didn't sound like a welcome wagon, so I turned my porcelain tail and ran off at massive speeds. That just rang the alarm bell though. More gorillas came charging in, forming a dangerous chase party. I climbed further up the plateau, managing to lose the gorillas. But the chase exhausted me. I really spawned into the wrong area here. What's going on out here? I feel like there's something I'm forgetting, but I can't remember what I forgot. Boom! The ground next to me exploded, and an even bigger, stronger gorilla crawled out of the hole.
Freeze right there! You move one step and I'll destroy you. Wanna live? Follow me, or else.
On day 2, the big gorilla led me across the plateau. Whatever you think I didn't do it, I swear. I'm a completely innocent warden skibidi toilet.
Look, kid, I don't trust wardens, and I don't trust whatever a skibidi toilet is. Want this to go smoothly? All you've got to do is literally everything I say.
Well, I guess that's a pretty compelling argument. He took me to some kind of outpost near the top of the plateau, leading me through the complex. They eventually threw me into a dark, dingy cell in the back.
You better behave, toilet boy, or you're gonna get yourself flushed.
Lucky for me, I wasn't alone in the cell. There was a squat little mungus waiting in there for me. Hey, Mungus, I'm Zozo. What are you in here for?
Somebody accused me of being an imposter, even though I'm not. It's a unique form of discrimination that we munguses have to deal with.
Oh, that's horrible. A similar thing happened to me. I don't even really know why I'm here.
You're certainly not gonna find your memories here in some goofy gorilla prison. We've gotta get out of here. Do skibidi toilets have any special powers?
I don't know, but wardens sure do. That's when I remembered how to warden trick and use it to bust down the wall of our cell. Mungus and I escaped, running off in different directions into the night. Now I can start working on getting my memories back and finding out why I'm really here. On day 3, I continued wandering through the plateau, trying my best to avoid any angry gorillas who wouldn't be happy that I'd escaped. In the epic battle of gorilla versus toilet, I personally wouldn't bet on the toilet. But rather than a gorilla, I instead encountered some cows, which made me realize I'm soon gonna get hungry. Using my high-precision warden shrieks, I blasted one of the cows, then swooped in to take my fill of the delicious beef. Okay, that's something I know about myself now. I enjoy tasty meat, just have to cook it first. I heard a rattling behind me and turned. There was a gang of skeletons coming towards me. Oh no, skeletons don't have any meat on them at all. I'm doomed. With my warden shriek still recharging, I was defenseless and outnumbered. But before the skeletons could get me, a huge lightning bolt came down and destroyed them all. Oh my gosh, what just happened? That's when I turned and saw him. The glorious sight of a tall man with a TV set for a head. He'd fired the lightning bolt and saved my life.
Come with me if you want to not die.
From day 4 to day 5, I followed the TV man into the Shattered Glaciers, a freezing and treacherous biome. Man, anyone who lives here must be one tough cookie. I can feel my bones rattling inside my toilet. We arrived at an equally cool pad where the TV man must have lived. It was easily one of the hippest homes I'd ever seen. Thank you again for saving my life, TV man. I'm Zozo. What can I possibly do to repay you?
The name's Ray, Cathode Ray. And it's no biggie. I save people all the time. I'm a hero. It's kind of my thing.
That's awesome, Ray. Could I be a hero just like you? I don't know what exactly I am, so maybe a hero would be a cool thing to become.
I've got it pretty covered, little toilet. But maybe, with some training, you could have some potential.
Training, yes! I could move in with you and…
With me? No. Little fella, Cathode Ray rolls alone. Here. Take these and go make yourself a place. We'll talk in a couple days.
Cathode Ray, the TV man, gave me my first set of stone tools and a stone sword. I left his base and ventured further up the treacherous Shattered Glaciers. When I found some solid ground on top of a mountain, I was curious to find warped trees here as well. This must be a sign. They look blue just like me. This is it. This is the location for my base. I mined enough material to start building myself a pretty basic house with 1 bedroom and a furnace so I could finally cook these steaks. Nothing is better than a warm piece of steak. This place isn't much, but it's mine.
Not for long, you stinky toilet!
I turned and saw that one of the gorilla guards had somehow followed me here. He wasn't interested in conversation. He wanted to fight, and I needed to defend myself. When he ran in, I blasted him with my Warden shriek, then finished him off with my stone sword skills. That gave me enough XP to level up, becoming a bigger, more combat-effective Warden toilet with 14 hearts and an inbuilt fireball cannon. Oh yeah! Now I'm looking fire! From day 6 to day 8, I was heading back to tell Cathode Ray about the new power I'd gained, but in the process, I ran into my old prison buddy, Mungus. Hey, Mungus, how have things been swinging for you? I didn't expect to see you out here.
Been better, man. Everywhere I go, people keep thinking I'm an imposter. It's really starting to affect my self-esteem.
That's terrible, Mungus. I wonder why people around here are so distrusting. I continued on to Cathode Ray and asked him the same question.
It doesn't surprise me to hear that, Zozo. You know, there are a lot of folks out here who really can't be trusted. It's why my work as a hero is so incredibly valuable.
How can I start doing valuable hero work, Ray? I can shoot fireballs now, and I want to prove myself.
If you go to the Stony Peaks, you'll find a deadly yak who's been causing a lot of trouble for the locals. Who may be perfectly suited to this job. Send a Warden toilet to defeat a Warden toilet, I always say.
Of course, Ray. Thank you for this opportunity. I won't let you down. With my new mission, I set off across the glaciers towards the Stony Peaks. From day 9 to day 10, I first made my way out to the Stony Peaks. It was a terrain so harsh and unforgiving, it made the shattered glaciers seem downright cozy. I was constantly paranoid that with one wrong move, I'd fall over and get injured, or worse. But after carefully navigating the difficult slopes of the Stony Peaks, I saw the monstrous yak in the distance. I drew my sword and carefully approached. Time for a surprise attack. I shot a fireball at the vicious yak. It turned, ready to attack.
Traitor! Perish for your treachery!
I fought the creature with my sword, but it was really strong, knocking a bunch of hearts off of me. In the end, I shot another fireball at the monster, and it blew him off the edge of the cliff. He was gone, but it left me badly injured in the process. Oh no, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of here. But a friend of mine was about to come in clutch. That's right, Mungus had found me.
Zozo, I heard someone was in trouble. I never knew it'd be you. Yeah, take this healing potion and some steaks. You look like you need it.
I truly did. I took the potion and was healed. Thank you, Mungus. I really appreciate that. What are you doing out here?
Something's going on, Zozo, something big. Wanna come with me to help look into it all?
I would, but first, I need to go tell my mentor about my victory here today. I'm on the up and up. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to Cathode Ray, excited to tell him about my victory against the diabolical Warden toilet spider.
Well done, little toilet dude. You've proven that you've got the makings of a hero in you.
Thank you, Ray. It's an honor to hear that from you.
For your next step on the road to heroism, I have another challenge for you. Even deeper in the dark shadows of the Stony Peaks, I need you to find and destroy the Hell Rat. It's every bit as frightening as the name suggests.
Sheesh, that sounds pretty scary.
That it is, my friend. That it is. I recommend you upgrade your armor and weaponry. Good heroes don't take chances.
Good advice, Ray. I scoured the shattered glacier until I found a deep mining cavern. I searched inside, getting deeper and deeper into the dark until I found a dusty old crate. Inside was exactly what I needed. Some pieces of iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron pickaxe. The miners must have left this behind when the place was abandoned. I didn't get to keep my new gear pristine for long because soon enough, the mine was crawling with gorilla guards.
You never should have come here.
But I wasn't as weak as I used to be. I held my own against the gorillas until they were forced to retreat. Nobody defeats a hero. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the Stony Peaks with my new iron weapons and armor plating, ready to take on the terrifying Hell Rat. I searched high and low for the Hell Rat's nest, terrified that at any moment it might pop out and destroy me, just like Cathode Ray had told me. But when I eventually found a cute little hut, and inside, I was astonished to find the Hell Rat. But it didn't seem threatening or scary at all. It seems like a pretty innocent, if slightly strange-looking, rat. Hey, you don't seem particularly hellish. Why do they call you the Hell Rat?
Oh, it's because I come from Hell, the unincorporated community in Livingston County, Michigan.
Oh, I suppose that does answer a lot, but not why Cathode Ray sent me here. Sorry for bothering you, Mr. Rat. I could smell a rat, and it wasn't the Hell Rat. I needed to make my way back to the shattered glaciers with no time to waste. From day 16 to day 19, I return to the cold, lonely world of the Shattered Glacier. Cathode Ray has some serious questions to answer. Sending me to hassle innocent rats from Michigan doesn't seem like something a hero would do. But when I arrived at Ray's pad, it was empty, not a soul in sight. Until I heard footsteps behind me. I panicked and turned around, only to see Mungus standing right behind me. Mungus, what are you doing here?
I was just about to ask you the same thing. I've been tracking the imposter who's been causing trouble across the server, and whom everyone keeps blaming me for. All signs point to here.
Here? That's impossible, but oh no, the Hell Rat! He's in danger! Before Mungus could ask any follow-up questions, I hightailed it out of the Shattered Glacier and made my way back to the Stony Peaks. When I arrived, I searched desperately for the place where I'd found the Hell Rat, but by the time I did, it was too late. Just Cathode Ray standing in an empty crater. Ray, what have you done?
What you were too weak to do, apparently. You can't even stomp some silly rat.
Why would I want to? He was innocent.
Innocent is just a point of view. Who's innocent, really? I'm sure he did something at some point that made him deserve getting vaporized by me.
If that's how you think, then you're not a hero at all.
I am a hero, Zozo, and if you're against me, that can only mean you're a villain. Let me show you what I do to villains.
Cathode Ray summoned up a huge lightning bolt, and before I could do anything, he fired it at me, and everything went black. From day 20 to day 22, I finally woke up, my damaged toilet body lying among the broken stone of the peaks around me. Somehow, I'd survived. Why didn't Cathode Ray completely destroy me?
Because I stopped him.
I turned and saw my old prison friend, Mungus, walking towards me.
What? You're the first person who believed in me. You think I'd let that TV-headed creep destroy you? No way.
I can't believe he used me like that. I thought he was a hero. I thought I was a hero.
You still can be, Zozo. Let's go back to your base. Together, I think we can defeat this guy and show the world who he really is.
You're right, Mungus. It's the only way. We went back to my base, and we tore down the old base so we had enough space for the new build. I mined up enough raw materials to construct a new building with a room for Mungus to stay in, complete with a bed and couch. You can't really tell what this place will be, so make sure to watch a bit longer to find out as I will finish the base. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the Savannah Plateau, wanting to see everything with a fresh perspective. Everything with Cathode Ray has got me reconsidering my whole life. But I didn't have time to brood. I saw an undead ostrich getting chased around by a terrifying dark manicore. This looks like a situation where I can prove myself as a real hero. I stormed in, blasting fireballs and warning shrieks at the dark manicore while the undead ostrich was out of the picture. It didn't take long for the manicore to relent, and I finished it off with my iron sword. Afterwards, the undead ostrich came out of hiding and approached me.
You saved my life! That was so heroic!
Thank you. I'm trying my best, despite not having a great teacher.
Your best saved me! So in exchange, here, take some of my power and ascend to greater heights!
The ostrich fired an energy blast at me, and I felt myself getting bigger and stronger. Soon enough, I had 26 hearts and a new ability, Smash! I tested it out, smashing a huge crazy crater into the ground. Okay, this will be useful later. From day 27 to day 31, while heading back across the Savannah Plateau towards the Shattered Glacier, I encountered a group of chickens. Even a WARDEN SKIBIDI toilet enjoys some nice fried chicken. I lured the chickens back into the Shattered Glacier and decided I needed to build a pen for them. Before I could do that, I decided to finish up the rest of the base so I can put them in just the right spot. I poured my heart and soul into it. I just hope no one flushes it down. Can't deny the resemblance is uncanny. If you think it looks good, make sure to subscribe so you can see my other amazing builds. As I was taking in the views, the Mungus approached me.
Great work, Zozo. Some chicken is exactly what we need. Also, speaking of food, I took the liberty of making us a pantry. We can store excess chicken there.
I looked and saw the well-stocked pantry and fully equipped kitchen that Mungus had created. Good job to you too, Mungus. This base is coming along nicely now. Meanwhile, back in Cathode Ray's icy chill pad of evil, he was consulting with his most powerful henchman, the Speakerhead.
So you see, Speakerhead, this Zozo needs to be destroyed for the greater good. We can't have a good world with that SKIBIDI WARDEN menace in it.
Of course, Mr. Ray. Everybody wants to rule the world, but you're the only one who I trust to see it through.
Then go out there and do what needs to be done. He's the only thing standing in the way of our plans.
From day 32 to day 35, I returned once again to the Savannah Plateau. More specifically, I returned to the gorilla base where I'd first been imprisoned. If I thought these guys were evil while I thought cathode ray was good, then maybe I had the wrong idea all along. When I arrived at the gorilla base, the huge gorilla who'd first captured me appeared to stand guard.
You've got some nerve coming back here, Toilet. After everything you've done, I ought to destroy you right now.
Wait, I was misled, and I think you were misled too. I'm on your side. Let me speak to the boss gorilla.
The boss gorilla isn't actually a gorilla. Come with me. If you try anything funny, I'll hammer you into the ground like a tent peg.
The big gorilla directed me inside. I followed his instructions down the hallway until I saw the strangest thing, a floating redstone cube. My goodness, who are you?
Me? I am the Cube of Wisdom, the source of all good and righteous knowledge. And if you had spoken to me earlier, I could have told you that Cathode Ray, the TV man, was nothing but a sham.
Yes, I'm sorry. I know that now. He's a villain who believes he's a hero, but I want to be a real hero. Together, between me, my friend Mungus, and you and your gorilla forces, we can take down this monster.
That's the wisest thing you've said all day, Zozo.
From day 36 to day 39, knowing the danger of the threats against me, I searched the shattered glacier yet again until I found another abandoned cave. I searched deep within until I found some more abandoned pieces of iron armor, which I quickly equipped. Using my smash power to bust through the stone further, I found a small vein of diamonds, which I mined with my iron pickaxe. Not enough to make anything yet, but these will come in real handy when I find more of them. I returned to my base with my spoils, where Mungus was waiting for me with good news.
Zozo, I crafted some weapons for you while you were gone. Javelins. They should be super effective.
Oh, that's awesome, Mungus! This will make me an even more formidable opponent at long range. I left the edge of my base to practice my throwing skills with my new selection of javelins, when suddenly a gibbon approached.
Be not afraid.
Don't worry, I wasn't.
Okay, let's see, what was the message? I'm an envoy from the Primate Kingdom. My master, the Cube, wishes to speak to you at a secure location in the Twilight Valley. You must journey there at once.
It sounded like there was no time to delay. I turned tail and made my way in the direction of the Twilight Valley. From day 40 to day 43, I arrived in the spooky and mysterious Twilight Valley. Following the instructions given to me by the Gibbon, I found a small shack where the redstone cube of wisdom was waiting for me. What's up, Mr. Cube? Why so cloak and dagger? Is everything okay?
There's an urgent matter that must be attended to, Zozo. My spies in Cathode Ray's inner circle tell me that he's dispatched one of his most dangerous agents. Speak ahead.
What's so dangerous about him?
He's a highly skilled and lethal warrior. He's absolutely loyal to Cathode Ray and his cause, and he absolutely hates Skibidi toilets. I must leave now, Zozo, but stay safe. You are in grave danger.
The redstone cube teleported away, leaving me alone in the Twilight Valley. Or so I thought. The shack exploded, and the speaker head was standing there, wielding a huge sword.
There you are. Time to meet your doom, Toilet. All for freedom and for pleasure.
Without delay, I started firing my warden shrieks and fireballs at him, but there was no effect. He ran at me with his sword and devastated me with one strike. All I could do was turn and run for my life.
I'll get you, Zozo. Nothing ever lasts forever.
From day 44 to day 49, I was resting and recovering at my base from my encounter with Speakerhead. I was lucky to get out of there alive. Speakerhead wasn't planning on taking prisoners. He was every bit as terrifying as the redstone cube suggested, so it made sense that the redstone cube would appear next to me in my time of need. You weren't kidding, Cube. That Speakerhead guy is a real demon.
Be that as it may, I believe I have a solution for you, Zozo. A weapon that may be capable of destroying that diabolical false hero once and for all.
I'm all ears.
A blowgun, an ancient tribal weapon wielded by a great warrior. It's said to have special powers when used by a true hero in the name of justice.
Sounds perfect. Where can I get it?
I'm not sure yet. You will need to seek out the information. Return to the Stony Peaks and seek out other wise creatures. They will give you the knowledge that you seek.
From day 50 to day 53, I had fully recovered from the stress of my battle with Speakerhead. I ventured out into the stony peaks, wanting to find the wise creatures that the redstone cube had spoken of. I'm lucky I don't have any legs, or they'd be getting really tired right about now. When I'd reached the highest peaks of the stony, peaks, I found a wise old spider pig waiting for me.
Welcome, my son. I am the great spider pig who sits at the center of the cosmic web of knowledge. I can answer but one question of every person. What is your question, Warden Toilet?
I seek the power to defeat evil. Where can I find the legendary ancient blowgun?
It will not be easy, my boy. The blowgun lies in the Chamber of Destiny, deep inside the Cynthian Torrids. It is guarded by a terrible beast. You will need to be incredibly strong to fight it.
A terrible beast. Great. For a second there, I was worried this whole thing would be too easy. From day 54 to day 57, I returned to the Savannah Plateau, hoping to share everything I'd learned with the Redstone Cube. But on the way, I was intercepted by a familiar and terrifying foe, Speakerhead.
Well, if it isn't my least favorite Warden Toilet, Zozo.
Speakerhead, what are you doing here?
I've been listening to you all the way since the spider pig. My master wants me to collect intelligence on you and everything you're doing. But I won't even need that information if I destroy you right here.
Threw some javelins at him and tried to hit him with my fireballs, but he was too strong.
My turn.
Pulled out a destroyer and with one whack, blasted a huge crater in the earth. I was lucky to have escaped with my life. Meanwhile, back at his base in the Shattered Glacier, Cathode Ray was receiving the information that Speakerhead had stolen.
The Scythian Torrids. Interesting. Then it means the blowgun must be guarded by the High Reaver. Perhaps I'll let Zozo deal with that one. He could always use the practice.
From day 58 to day 62, I was at my base, having at least survived a second encounter with the Speakerhead. I need some kind of advantage. I can't afford to let him get the jump on me again. I might not be so lucky. I was pulled out of my pessimistic thoughts by Mungus, who strolled over to me with obvious excitement.
Zozo, I've been working hard building things while you were gone. I added in a little yard, a bathroom, and a new crafting area, complete with a furnace.
Oh, that's genius, Mungus. Just the thing I needed. If I want some new gear, I'm gonna need to forge it myself. With this in mind, I went back to the same mining cavern I'd visited before and dug even deeper into the darkness, using my smash power to go deeper a lot faster than I would with just a pickaxe. Eventually, I found an even richer vein of diamonds and harvested as many as I possibly could. Then, I took them back to the base and put Mungus's crafting room to good use. I forged myself a diamond sword, a diamond pickaxe, and a few pieces of diamond armor. Now I'm a force to be reckoned with! From day 63 to day 66, I heard a great crackling outside my base, like something of immense power had arrived. I walked outside the base and saw the Redstone Cube of Wisdom waiting for me on my decorative toilet.
Zozo, it is time. We must travel together to the edge of the Shattered Glacier. There we can find the portal to the Scythian Torrids, where the sacred blowgun awaits the arrival of its prophesied user. That, Zozo, is you.
Then we have no time to waste. Lead the way! I followed the floating cube across the Shattered Glacier until eventually we reached the impressive-looking portal stand.
Something is wrong, Zozo. The portal, it isn't active.
Then what do we do?
Keep searching. There must be some kind of key. Someone out there has it. We just need you to get our hands on it. Well, we don't have hands, but you get the idea.
From day 67 to day 70, while waiting and planning my next steps on the toilet, I was visited by someone I hadn't had the best relationship with, the big gorilla.
Zozo, you know I wouldn't come to you if I wasn't desperate, but some unknown force has been fighting my men in the Twilight Valley while we try to search for the key to the Cynthian Torrids.
And I'm guessing you want me to come in there and fight it?
Yeah, pretty much. But you better not gloat about it.
Cause I'm a nice guy, I didn't gloat. Just flushed the toilet and made a beeline for the Twilight Valley, where I saw what had been giving the gorilla so much trouble. A cosmically powerful Shiba Inu.
Be gone, intruder! You will never get your hands on the key! Leave my valley!
Wait, listen to me!
If you use this key for evil, I will—
Listen! I'm not here to do evil. I'm here to stop it. You said something about a key? Is it the key to the Scythian Torrids?
Yes, the very same.
I seek the blow blowgun from the Chamber of Destiny.
For what purpose do you seek it?
I wish to obtain the blowgun and use it to defeat the evil known as cathode ray.
That is a noble goal. The key is yours. If you misuse it, I'll destroy you myself.
Shiba Inu disappeared, leaving behind a magical-looking key, which I immediately picked up. I'm one more step closer to completing my quest. From day 71 to day 74, I was returning to my base, excited to tell Mungus about the key. But I had bigger things on my mind. Speakerhead was back, and he was destroying my base.
You're too late, Zozo. I know everything. You can't stop us now.
I can tell you're a speakerhead even from a distance, because you're such an annoying loudmouth.
Don't get mad, Zozo. Get even. If you're brave enough, I'll be waiting near Ray's pad. Come and get some, loser.
Speakerhead laughed and disappeared. Then, Mungus came out of hiding to speak to me. How did he cause us much damage, Mungus?
He used his destroyer, an incredibly powerful weapon.
Darn, that man is such a thorn in my side.
It doesn't need to be all bad, Zozo. Maybe if you go and destroy Speakerhead, you'll get his destroyer. Then you can use it in the Scythian turrets to get the blowgun.
That's a great idea, Mungus. But are you sure you'll be okay here alone?
I can handle myself, Zozo. I'll rebuild the base while you're gone.
Then it looks like we've got a plan. Little did I know, all of this was part of Cathode Ray's grand plan.
Once he's dispatched dear Speakerhead, he'll be strong enough to enter the Scythian turrets. Then, the blowgun will be mine, and nothing will be able to stop me.
From day 75 to day 78, I was preparing for the battle with Speakerhead when the Redstone Cube of Wisdom came to impart some of his trademark wisdom.
Fight hard out there, Zozo. We're all counting on you.
Thanks, Redstone Cube. Is that it? And then he left. From day 79 to day 84, I wasted no time in charging to the dark depths of the Shattered Glacier. Speakerhead, you will face me in single combat. That was clearly enough to summon him because Speakerhead immediately appeared. It was almost too perfect.
Ready to be destroyed, Zozo? Well, clearly you are, since you're here.
Please stop talking. I'd rather just fight. I charged at Speakerhead, wielding my diamond sword. Even with the aid of my powers, I was so hopelessly outmatched.
Face it, Zozo, you're doomed. You can't beat me.
That's when I suddenly felt a surge of energy coming up from the key the Shiba Inu gave me. The power to fight against evil. I evolved into a Warden Spider Skibidi toilet. I was bigger, stronger, and suddenly had 100 hearts and the ability to shoot lasers. Speakerhead was so shocked.
What? No, you can't do that.
Seems like I can. Bye-bye, Speakerhead. With a supercharged blast of my laser attack, Speakerhead was destroyed once and for all. In his place was the destroyer, which I picked up immediately. Just you and me now, Ray. From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the base with the destroyer and the key. And with 100 hearts, I was finally ready to go to the Scythian turrets. I'm ready to do this, Mungus.
So glad, Zozo. And look, I repaired the base.
I turned and saw that Mungus was true to his words. The base had been rebuilt. Everything was coming up roses. The one thing left to do is go claim the blowgun. Then we can defeat Cathode Ray and end all this horror. My heart filled with determination, I made my way towards the portal standing deep in the Shattered Glaciers and used my key to open it. Scythian Torrids, here I come. I immediately felt the dark, dry heat of the Torrids on the other side. It was a sinister place, filled with molten lava and strange unknown creatures. After hours of wandering, I found a large, distinct structure that must have been the Chamber of Destiny. There's the chamber. Let's go see the beast. I walked into the chamber, which was deceptively quiet at first, until a huge, terrifying High Reaver leaped out. Oh, there's the beast. It took everything to be able to defeat the High Reaver. The blade of my diamond sword, my fireballs, my javelins, my laser eyes, and of course, the destroyer. It was a hard battle, and I lost plenty of hearts. But in the end, the High Reaver was defeated, and the blowgun was left on the ground. Cathode Ray, you've got a big storm coming. From day 90 to day 94, I left the Chamber of Destiny with the blowgun in hand. With this, I'd finally be able to destroy Cathode Ray once and for all. But before I could find my way to the portal, I was hit by a lightning that completely paralyzed me from the neck down. The blowgun fell out onto the floor. Oh no, who could have done this? Unsurprisingly, Cathode Ray emerged from the darkness. He had total power over me.
So, it has come to this. You know, Zozo, we could have worked well together. Imagine the heroics we would have accomplished together.
You've never done anything heroic in your life, Ray. You're just a villain who's lying to himself.
You're going to regret this, Zozo. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. I'd destroy you right now, but I want you to live long enough to see my revenge play out in full.
While I couldn't move, he built a stone cage around me, trapping me within. By the time I could move again, Cathode Ray was long gone. From day 95 to day 97, I tried different methods to bust down the walls of the prison that Cathode Ray had built around me. Out of all the power-ups, only the Destroyer worked. But there was no time to waste. I needed to get back to the Savannah Plateau immediately and warn the Redstone Cube of Wisdom. When I was back in the overworld, I ran as fast as I could until I reached the plateau. But I wasn't fast enough. The Gorilla Outpost base had been left in ruins, and all the gorillas were gone. All that was left was the heavily injured Redstone Cube of Wisdom.
Zozo, Cathode Ray went on a cathode rampage. He's cleaning house, trying to destroy everyone he can.
Oh no, this is all my fault. I gave him the blowgun. He'll be invincible.
He has one weakness, Zozo. Because he has a TV for a head, he doesn't have a mouth, so he can't actually use the blowgun. Get it back, Zozo, and use it to bring Ray's reign of terror to an end!
The Redstone Cube passed away, leaving me alone on the cold and dusty plateau. On day 98, I made a beeline back to my base. I needed to warn Mungus so he didn't end up like the gorillas or the Redstone Cube of Wisdom. When I saw the state of my base, I feared I was too late. Everything Mungus and I had worked on was destroyed. Cathode Ray had almost annihilated the base. Oh no, did he destroy Mungus just like he destroyed the Redstone Cube? To my immense relief, Mungus emerged from the rubble.
Please, I'm a lot harder to destroy than that.
Mungus, you're alive!
Cathode Ray was so focused on angrily destroying our base that he didn't even notice me.
That's one small relief, but Cathode Ray still has the blowgun. I can't defeat him without it.
Don't worry, Zozo. I have a plan. Let's go to Ray's pad together. I've got my own score to settle. You distract him, I'll steal back the blowgun. Then you can finish him off once and for all.
Sounds like a plan to me, Mungus. On day 99, Mungus and I ventured deep into the Shattered Glacier to execute our cunning plan. We arrived outside Cathode Ray's pad and shared some final encouraging words. You can do this, Mungus. I'll keep his attention on me.
See you on the other side, buddy.
Mungus snuck into the base. When he was gone, I shot my fireballs at Cathode Ray's base. He immediately stormed outside.
Revenge, then? I figured you'd come out here after you saw what I did to your base and your worthless friends. At least now I can finish you, once and for all.
Yeah, you can do that, Ray, but you'll need to catch me first. I ran as fast as I could as Cathode Ray chased me, shooting lightning after me. I ran until I'd lost him, then made a beeline back to the base. I met Mungus outside Ray's pad. He gave me the blowgun.
Finish this, Zozo.
And with that, he fled into the forest, leaving me alone at Ray's pad. On day 100, I used my fireballs and laser beams to wreak destruction on Cathode Ray's base. I blew up walls and annihilated rooms, and with the destroyer, I smashed a huge crater into the ground. And using my own smash ability, I annihilated everything I could, sending his whole kingdom crashing down around me. I'm gonna do what you did to me, and to the Redstone Cube, and all those gorillas. I'll leave you with nothing. All the noise attracted Cathode Ray himself, who stormed in, ready to fight, wielding a massive sword.
You worthless little bidet! My perfect pad! How could you ruin it like this? I am a hero!
How many times do I need to tell you? There's nothing heroic about you. You're just a big, cruel bully who wants people to like him.
And it's clear you're not gonna like me, so I may as well destroy you, you villain!
The battle began. Cathode Ray was strong, but now I was ready to face him. I threw in javelins and blasted fireballs. I hit him with laser beams and warden shrieks, and even whacked him with the destroyer.
No, this is impossible.
For the finishing blow, I pulled out my blowgun, channeling all the power of the redstone cube. With one blast, the scourge of cathode ray was finally destroyed. The only hero here is me. On day 1, I spawned into the Baobab Savannah as the mighty electric tiger. Well, at least a baby version of an electric tiger. But if I work hard and train, I can live fully up to my electric tiger potential.
Oh no, you won't.
I looked in front of me and saw a massive, hulking squall golem thundering towards me. He was so much bigger than me, the size difference was terrifying. Listen, mister, I don't want any trouble. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
My name's Mike, and I'm here to fight.
But why? That doesn't even rhyme.
Yes, it does. If I say it rhymes, it rhymes. I'm the strongest creature in the world. Nothing challenges me anymore, and the only way to relieve the boredom is getting into fights with anyone I can.
But
No buts, weakling, or I'll kick yours. Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you 100 days. You better use them well, kid, and get as strong as possible. Strong enough to have an interesting fight with me. 'Cause if you don't, I'm gonna find you and pound you until you're nothing more than a little electric tiger stain in the floor. Now run.
Mike the Squall Golem didn't have to tell me twice. I turned and ran away as quickly as possible, while Mike just laughed at me. He seemed like my most formidable opponent yet. 100 days. I need to get real strong in that time, or Mike really is gonna destroy me. On day 2, I continued running through the Baobab Savannah, not stopping until I was confident that Mike the Squall Golem was nowhere to be seen. Phew, that was a close one. If he'd attacked me in that state, I would have been a goner. I only have 10 hearts. I wonder if I have any special abilities. Without even realizing I could, I released a blast of electrical energy from my paw. The electricity is eliminated from me and charges up the air around me. That must have been one of my basic electric tiger abilities. Whoa, maybe I'm not as helpless as I thought. Wait, do I see a pear tree there? I should grab one. I grabbed a few pears and ate them. Even if my hunger was full, I just couldn't resist it. Things were looking up already. At least I wasn't gonna be hungry. But my contentment didn't last for long. A scary plant-like whisperer rustled its way towards me. It wasn't as big as Mike, but it was definitely freaky. Oh no, I have a feeling I know who you work for.
You feel correctly, Zozo. You really think you can beat Mike? He's the GOAT.
Goat? He's a squall golem.
No, GOAT is an acronym. He is the greatest of all time. GOAT. And that's why you've got no hope against him.
Then why even bother coming after me? I didn't even want to fight.
I'm gonna destroy you myself to save Mike his time.
As the whisperer approached me, I fired my energy blast, but it didn't even slow him down. All I could do was run away, knowing that even with my energy blast, I had no hope of fighting him. I was hiding behind a small clutch of trees when suddenly a wind caller teleported in front of me.
Come with me if you want to live.
Sure, let's go. I'll follow you.
Wow, people normally have questions. Let's go.
The wind caller ran off, and I followed him without question, happy to finally have someone on my side. On day 3, I continued following the wind caller deeper into the Baobab Savannah. He seemed to have confidence and power. It definitely made me feel safer around him.
I've been waiting for you to arrive, Zozo. You have no idea how many people have anticipated this special day.
Special? This doesn't feel that special, aside from you saving my life from all the weird creeps who have been trying to attack me.
Those weird creeps, as you aptly put it, have been bothering people for quite some time. But if you stick with me and my allies, we might be able to change that together.
The wind caller led me to a small shack, leaving me to talk to its inhabitant, a mysterious figure called the Illusioner.
So, you are the one the wind caller selected, You don't appear all that strong, but perhaps that will change.
I still don't understand what's happening here. Who are all of you people? And what does any of this have to do with me or that nasty squall golem Mike?
Windcaller and I are just 2 members of a secret group called the Order of the Shield. For years, we have made it our purpose to find and train a champion capable of destroying Mike and ending his reign of terror. If you accept this responsibility, we will do all we can to help you realize your destiny.
Well, seeing as Mike is gonna come after me anyway, I agree to working with you.
Good. Go with Windcaller. There is no time to waste. You must get strong enough to defeat Mike once and for all.
From day 4 to day 5, the wind caller and I went deeper into the baobab savanna. We didn't stop until we found an area that was big and flat enough to start constructing a base. First, I knocked down a tree and used its resources to construct a wooden pickaxe. I then mined into the ground and collected enough stone to create my first set of real tools, a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. From there, I gathered more stone and granite and made a basic base with a bed for myself and another one for the wind caller to stay in with me.
You've done great work here, Zozo. You show promise. With time, you will become a great warrior, capable of taking on Mike and showing him what we are all capable of.
I want to get stronger, wind caller, but I'm not sure where to start. How can I become more powerful?
I can help you with that, Zozo. I'll give you a portion of my power, and that will give you a foundation to build on. Stay still, please.
The wind caller fired and energy blasted me. The second it hit me, I started growing, becoming bigger, and had the ability to summon lightning strikes. I tried it out on some grass, and it was fantastic. Wow, I'm really starting to live up to my electric tiger name now. From day 6 to day 8, I decided to explore a new part of the savannah and test out my new powers for real. Energy blasts and lightning strikes. I'm a force to be reckoned with. And those powers would soon come in handy because I saw an innocent fungus thrower being attacked by that nasty whisperer who had attacked me earlier. I'm not gonna let this stand. As I ran in, the whisperer's attention was turned to me and the fungus thrower was able to escape. It was just me and my old enemy now. Hey, you ugly plant.
You again? I didn't expect to see you after you ran off like a coward last time.
I'm no coward whisperer, and I'm about to prove it.
Talk is cheap, tiger boy. Let's go.
I unleashed a powerful lightning strike on the whisperer, and this time it was completely destroyed. My electric tiger powers were coming in clutch already. Yo, fungus thrower, it's safe to come out now. I'm friendly, I promise. When I found him on the beach, the poor lad was shivering from fear.
Dude, that was scary, but also amazing. I thought I was a goner, and then you came in like a superhero, like bam, zow, kapow. It was awesome.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I guess it was pretty awesome.
You're real good at this whole fighting bad guys thing, dude. Tell you what, I know there's a real nasty bad guy not far from here. Follow me. Let's see if you can beat him.
Sure, it couldn't hurt to try. Let's go. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the fungus thrower into the bamboo jungle until we reached a clearing. There, a freaky frozen zombie was waiting. Yikes, that thing seems unpleasant, but a promise is a promise. I ran in and unleashed a lightning strike against the frozen zombie, but it didn't seem to do anything other than annoy this particularly frosty member of the living dead. The frozen zombie chased me, and all I could do was run away as fast as I could. When I'd managed to lose the frozen zombie, I rendezvoused with the fungus thrower again. I'm really sorry for letting you down on this one, man, but I just don't think I'm strong enough to take down that frozen zombie yet.
It's chill, dude. You did your best, and that's what matters.
Tell you what, why don't you come and stay at my base while I get stronger? You seem like a cool guy. I'd love to hang out with you some more.
Oh, you're too sweet, man. Let's do it.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with the fungus thrower. It was exciting to have another friend added to my team. Fungus thrower left to relax while I built a new room for him, along with the rooms for me and the wind caller. What do you think, buddy?
This looks awesome, Zozo. I can't wait to hang out here. And hey, I got a little restless while you were building the bedroom, so I built a couple of upgrades of my own. Go take a look.
The upgrades that the fungus thrower had created were truly awesome. He'd made a beautiful path connecting all the buildings and a storage room for the base, with a furnace that I could use to smelt and forge metal. Say, that gives me an idea. I searched until I found a cave that might contain some valuable materials, and sure enough, right at the entrance, I found a rich vein of iron ore. I mined and collected a bunch of it before going back to my base. Once I was there, I used my furnace to smelt the ore into ingots. Then I made a full set of iron tools. I still had a little left over, so I used that to make an iron helmet and a chest plate. This looks awesome! So I've got shelter and weaponry covered. Now, I need to make sure my food sources are sustainable too. I built a small chicken farm on my base and herded a few chickens inside, so I'd never run out of eggs or yummy chicken. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke to my mentor, the wind caller, and asked him if he knew any other ways I could train and get stronger.
A very good question, Zozo. To become a better fighter, you need to fight and hone your battle tactics. I've heard reports of another one of those sinister whisperers wandering around the bamboo jungle. Go out there and defeat it to grow your strength.
Because everything Windcaller had said so far hadn't led me astray, I followed his advice and went out to the bamboo jungle again. I searched until I found the Whisperer that Windcaller had told me about.
I will destroy you in the name of Mike.
Not if I destroy you first, Whisperer. With my new iron sword, it wasn't hard to battle the Whisperer into submission. When the Whisperer was destroyed, it dropped a potion of strength onto the ground. Perfect timing. I was starting to feel super thirsty. I picked up the potion of strength and drank it, and I felt the change immediately. I started to get bigger, stronger, and my hearts grew to 30. The Windcaller was right. Fighting that Whisperer did make me stronger. From day 16 to day 19, I continued exploring the overworld until I came upon the Cypress Swamplands. It was a strange, mystical place, and the more I wandered around, the more I got the sense that something important was waiting for me here. And that feeling proved to be right when I came upon an ancient book of secrets laying around. I decided that it might be worth reading, so I flipped through until I found a section called How to Defeat Squall Golems. Wow, that's appropriate. A section read, the stony flesh of a squall golem may seem impenetrable. Even diamond swords and the strongest of arrows just seem to bounce off. But if one could obtain a sword of netherite, then the playing field would be evened. A netherite sword? I need to get my hands on one of those then. My moment of victory was interrupted by a pair of Whisperers suddenly appearing and wandering towards me. They must have come here to stop me from reading this book of secrets. You overgrown weeds can't scare me. With my lightning strikes and energy blasts, the 3 Whisperers were destroyed for good. From day 20 to day 22, knowing that I needed a netherite sword to truly defeat Mike the Squall Golem, I went back to the mining cave looking for more material. Sadly, I couldn't find any diamonds or netherite down there, just more iron ore. I mined a bunch of it and went back to my base where I smelted it into ingots and made myself the rest of my iron armor. If you can't invest in your attacks, you might as well invest in your defense. My recent increase in strength reminded me of an old unsettled score. I needed to defeat the frozen zombie for my friend the fungus thrower. Time to send that zombie to its eternal resting place. I returned to the bamboo jungle and hunted down the frozen zombie that had given me trouble all those days ago. With my iron sword, I was able to defeat the nasty undead once and for all. It probably won't be long before I'm strong enough to take on Mike and win.
I wouldn't be so sure, weakling.
I turned and saw Mike himself was standing right behind me. I wanted to run, but this time I stood my ground. I'm not scared of you anymore, Mike. I know the secret. I just need to get my hands on a netherite sword. I'm a champion of the Order of the Shield. What's so funny?
You think you're the first champion? You think you're the only one who knows about netherite swords? I've destroyed 100 foolish champions like you, and you'll make it 101.
Mike punched me, taking off a frightening number of hearts. All I could do was run for my life. I was clearly still not strong enough to face him yet. From day 23 to day 26, I went back to my base and informed the fungus thrower that I defeated the frozen zombie of the bamboo forest. Way to go, Zozo! You've no doubt achieved a whole new level of strength from that battle. And I plan to get even stronger now that I was able to fulfill my promise to you. Oh yeah, buddy, I know you can. I knew that I needed stronger materials in my inventory if I really wanted to work my way up to that netherite sword, so I went digging for more iron in my mining cave. While there were still no diamonds to be found, the iron ore was plentiful. I helped myself to as much of the iron as I could carry and smelted a bunch of it down into some more ingots. I made a temporary smelting location to smelt the iron while I mined. I already had a set of iron tools and armor, so out of all the iron, I made an anvil so we can repair our gear when it loses durability. My pickaxe can be the first candidate to get repaired. Once I was done mining, I went above ground to my base where Windcaller was waiting for me.
Zozo, I've given the base a new addition that will be sure to keep you safe while you build up your strength.
That sure is nice of you.
Consider it my thanks for all the hard work you've put in so far.
I went to see what the Windcaller had added to the base and found a well-constructed security bunker to hide in case of invasion. This looks like it will come in handy. From day 27 to day 31, I was far away from the base, exploring the Cypress Swamplands when I had first learned about the existence of netherite swords. If I remember my last visit correctly, I also defeated a couple of Whisperers while I was here. The whole area looked totally peaceful now, without any of Mike's minions to be seen. As I was taking in the pleasant vibes, I was approached by a kindly Fletcher, who seemed rather happy that the swamplands were free of baddies.
Wowee zowie! You must be Zozo the Electric Tiger. I heard you took down those Whisperers some days ago.
That's me. I'm the toughest and only electric tiger around.
That's wicked awesome. It's good to know that there are people out there looking for strength who are also nice and willing to stand up for the weak.
I will do my best to help those in need.
I heard there were some other Whisperers skulking around and looking to challenge you. They must really want to stand up for that Mike guy.
I can take them. Do you know where they are?
Not right now, but they'd probably hunt me down and try to beat me up if they knew I told you that. Then they'd be right here in the swamp again.
I know. What if you stayed at my base for a while? At least until I have my match with Mike. That way, I can protect you. The Fletcher agreed, and together we went back to my base where I added a base extension. I made a small outdoors library with a few couches to have a nice cozy place to relax. The books that I put on the shelves would teach me strategies and techniques for winning battles. Because knowledge is power. Later, I was approached by Windcaller, who had some bad news.
Zozo, we have to come with you again. Mike's minions have discovered the Order of the Shield and are attacking its members. We need to check on the Illusioner before he could be next.
Oh no, that sounds serious. Let's go! From day 32 to day 35, Windcaller and I crossed the Baobab Savannah to reach the Illusioner's shack. When we found the place, it was too late. The shack was under attack by a Whisperer, and the Illusioner was desperately fighting for his life.
You Order of the Shield fools can't win. Mike makes right. The saying is might makes right. What you said is just silly. You're calling us silly? Just for that, you're going to die.
The Whisperer destroyed the Illusioner right before our eyes. You monsters!
Talk about pathetic. Is this all the Order of the Shield is made of?
You're dead wrong. I'm Zozo, the Electric Tiger. I am the champion, and I'll show you how strong I am. I called down a lightning strike, getting the Whisperer's attention and dealing a bunch of damage in the process. With a few swings of my iron sword, I made that Whisperer pay for what it did to the Illusioner. More Whisperers emerged from the edges. I was so angry, I didn't even need to use my energy blasts to bring the pain and take them all down. When the battle was over, Windcaller and I planned what our next move would be.
We need to be on the lookout for any other mobs that are working for Mike.
Curse him! We were too late to save the Illusioner from his rampage.
We'll keep an eye out for the other surviving members of the Order of the Shield, and once we're together, we'll help you become the strongest champion you can be.
From day 36 to day 39, I returned to the bamboo jungle so I could practice all my most powerful fighting moves in a safe place where none of my friends would get hurt. I was tossing around Energy Blast when I blasted away some bamboo and found an iron golem hiding nearby.
Whoa, easy with those blasts. You could knock somebody out with those.
My apologies, I didn't know you were here. Sometimes I don't know my own strength.
Oh, no, it's okay. I actually have been searching for someone strong enough to defeat the ruthless roaming Ravager.
If it's a worthy opponent that gives me a chance to test my skills, then I'm 100% game. Where is this Ravager anyway?
I'll show the way, almighty Electric Tiger.
I was brought to another part of the bamboo forest where the ruthless roaming Ravager was running around. It was my time to bring that bad boy down. I fired some energy blasts from my paws, and the Ravager responded by jumping over to me and making a few attacks. I countered with my iron sword. The battle raged on for a while, but I knew from the start I would come out on top. And I was right. I returned to the Iron Golem to tell him that I had successfully defeated that rascally Ravager.
Ha, you really are one tough tiger.
That's for sure. From day 40 to day 43, I was in the base and decided to see how the fungus thrower was doing. It looked like he had been hard at work decorating the base with all sorts of tiger-patterned banners and paintings. This base looks absolutely awesome now. Good job, Fungus.
I'm glad you like it. I was just sprucing the place up in preparation for the pigs I invited over.
You invited pigs?
Yep, I invited some pigs because I thought they might enjoy themselves here.
That's a bad pun, but not a bad idea. I say yes.
Fantastic! I mean, fantastic!
The pigs that Fungus Thrower invited arrived soon after and were the life of the party. I even got to train my defenses against their classic pig pile technique. After entertaining our fine piggy guests for a while, I went for a walk out in the base and ran into Fletcher. Everything all right, Fletcher?
I'm worried about my home back in the Cypress Swamplands. Do you think you could go check on it just to be safe?
Sure, buddy. It's the least I can do for a friend. From day 44 to day 49, I went back to the cypress swamplands like Fletcher wanted me to. I was expecting there might be a few whisperers milling about, but I never imagined that I'd see Mike himself.
What up, Tiger? Ready to take another shot at the big man?
Mike, this should be between you and me. What you did to the Order of the Shield was unforgivable.
Nah, no way. I've been beefing with those bozos since long before you showed up. And if you're the chosen champion they kept talking about, then I had to take them down before you become any stronger.
So you did it because you're afraid I'll get stronger than you? Well, now you've made sure it'll happen. I will beat you, Mike, one of these days.
You want to make this personal, huh? Alright, let's make it personal. See if you can take on my man, the Piglin Brute.
To my surprise, Mike ran off and stuck me fighting with one big mean mob that he called the Piglin Brute. It sure did live up to its name.
I'm about to show you why they call me the Piglin Brute. Because I'm brutal.
Yeah, I already got that.
Put up your dukes, Electric Tiger.
He slammed me with an attack that was definitely brutal, but thankfully my iron helmet was able to soak up some of the damage. I traded blows using my sword and started to wear him down, but the knockback of his attacks was giving me some trouble. This will be a tough fight. From day 50 to day 53, I had started to use my energy blast to continue to deal damage to the Piglin Brute. He didn't show much signs of tiring, but then again, neither did I.
I can see why the Order of the Shield was impressed by you, but you can't really be the champion who will defeat Mike because I'm about to take you down.
Wouldn't bet on it, Brute. I launched a couple of strikes at the Brute, then I hit him with my sword and knocked him off balance so I could defeat him with some classic Electric Tiger Energy Blast. Bye-bye, Brute. You were my biggest and meanest opponent yet, but I've won this round. The Piglin Brute disappeared, and I soon found an item that he dropped. It was a map leading to Mike's fight club. This is quite a discovery. I didn't know whether Mike expected me to find this or not, but either way, this meant that I could go to his base whenever I wanted. From day 54 to day 57, I cleared the cypress swamplands of all remaining hostile mobs so that Fletcher wouldn't have to worry anymore. The last one in the area was especially tough, a Vindicator who could take a lot of hits from my iron sword. I really had to stay on my guard the whole fight, relying on my new combat strategies that I had been practicing. Sure enough, I was able to win with plenty of hearts to spare. The Vindicator even dropped a netherite ingot, which was the first step to the netherite sword that I'd need to defeat Mike. I quickly returned to the base to tell Fletcher the good news.
So, the swamplands are safe?
They sure are.
You mean that you found a netherite ingot, just like that?
I sure did. That's some kind of coincidence, huh?
It's no coincidence, it's a sign. You are meant to be the champion of the Order of the Shield. It's your destiny.
Well, in that case, I better make the most of this chance and get some diamonds so we can eventually make a netherite sword.
You can do it, Zozo.
From day 58 to day 62, I made a much-needed expansion to the chicken farm so that it could hold more livestock. It was just in time, too, because I was able to round up more chickens for food. An Electric Tiger's gotta eat to keep his energy up, and delicious chicken tenders are what's on the menu. Next, I delved down to the mining cave to have another look for the diamonds I would need to craft a diamond sword. I had to explore pretty deep, but soon enough, I managed to get my pickaxe into some diamonds. There's many diamonds here. I might believe in destiny after all. I mined for a while and found more than enough diamonds to make the diamond sword, which I planned on using as the foundation for the netherite sword I'd be making later. I used the rest of the diamonds to craft a diamond pickaxe and a full set of diamond armor for myself. Once I was satisfied with the amount of diamonds I had amassed, I returned to the surface of the base and met up with Windcaller. Hey, Windcaller, I've crafted a diamond sword.
That's excellent, Zozo. We should celebrate in the brand new super amazing party room that I just built.
Oh wow, no way! A party room! I love parties! While I had been down in the mines, Windcaller had given the base its most exciting feature yet, a decorated room for hosting parties. I tried out the dance floor and had a really good time. From day 63 to day 66, I was hanging out at the base with Fungus Thrower, discussing ways for me to become even stronger. If I could train in a new location, maybe I'd be able to discover some new fighting moves. I actually know just the place. If you train in the harsh sunlight of the desert, you'll increase your strength in no time. How do I find the desert? I'll show you the way on your map. The Fungus Thrower marked the desert as a location on the map I received from the fallen Piglin Brute. It looked like it was on the way to the biome where Mike's fight club could be found. I should get used to that path while I'm out there. I went to the desert and felt the sun beating down on me. This would be a good place to train, and I was in the mood for a fight with a scary opponent. Across the dunes, I saw one scary-looking wither skeleton. I moved towards him with my sword drawn, ready for battle. Hey you, wanna fight Zozo the electric tiger?
No thank you. I don't want to fight, especially not a tough customer like you.
Okay, I can respect that. We won't fight.
Did you think just because I'm scary looking that I'd want to fight? You really shouldn't judge people by their outward appearances.
Yeah, that was my bad. I'm very sorry about that, friend. Lesson learned.
It happens to me a lot, I'm afraid. Just the other day, a Zoglin tried to pick a fight with me. I told him, no, wait for a strong person who wants to fight.
Well, if that Zoglin wants a fight, I'll fight him. I came here to train anyway. From day 67 to day 70, the friendly wither skeleton brought me to meet the Zoglin, a dangerous opponent who was also looking for a challenging fight. The Zoglin agreed to fight me one-on-one so we could test each other's strength. Before the fight began, the wither skeleton took me aside so we could have a quick discussion.
Are you sure you can win, Zozo? I didn't mean to put you in danger.
I think I've got a chance, but thanks for being concerned.
No, thank you for fighting this battle for me.
That's what a strong person does. Now I'm gonna go kick some Zoglin butt. The fight between myself and the Zoglin was off to an exciting start when the Zoglin charged straight at me. I dodged his powerful tusks and hit with my sword while his back was turned. The Zoglin countered by hitting me with his tusks. I lost a few hearts, but I was still in the fight. I fired some energy blasts and used my signature lightning strike to deliver the last blow, defeating the Zoglin.
Zozo, you did it!
I am the Electric Tiger Zozo! Remember the name! From day 71 to day 74, I had completely left the desert behind and was traveling through a new biome, the eroded Badlands. According to the Piglin Brutes map, this was the same biome where the entrance to Mike's Fight Club could be found. The map also says you can find more of my Zozo videos by searching ZO in the YouTube search bar. You should try it out. I followed the directions on the map further into the eroded Badlands, and I could see Mike's Fight Club in the distance. Just you wait, Mike. I'll fight you one of these days.
I heard that, Zozo.
Suddenly, Mike was right next to me, and he was looking as strong as ever.
You shouldn't have said that, Sparkplug. Now I'm gonna give you a taste of my super special punch, the Mike Spike.
Oh no, I forgot that today is one of those days.
Mike Spike!
He punched me, and my heart started to deplete. Thank goodness I was wearing diamond armor. I drew my diamond sword and swung at him, but the damage it did was really low.
You're still weak, kitty cat.
No way! Will I need a netherite sword to even stand a chance? I ran away from the fight, retracing my steps through the eroded Badlands. I still wasn't strong enough to beat him. From day 75 to day 78, I followed the map home to my base and went directly into the bunker to work out. Somehow, I couldn't find the energy to train, probably because I was disappointed that I had to run away from Mike. Mike was the strongest in the world, and I still didn't have the netherite sword I would need to actually challenge him. From what he said before, even that might not be enough.
Cheer up, Zozo. You have our strength too, so don't give up.
It was Windcaller. He had come into the bunker to check on me and raise my spirits. Thanks, Windcaller. I'm feeling like I'm weak today, so I really needed to hear that.
Follow me. I'll show you something that might also help.
There was now a new watchtower at the front of the base where we could look out at the Baobab Savannah from. All of a sudden, I feel a whole lot better, Windcaller. Now I remember what I'm fighting for.
You are the champion, Electric Tiger Zozo. Don't forget it.
Now that I was feeling better, I went to go visit Fletcher. Hey there, Fletcher.
Zozo, I got you this special magic apple to help make you strong enough to face Mike.
Well, an apple a day, as they say. I scarfed down the apple and began to grow into an even bigger electric tiger with 60 hearts. In addition to bigger damage and more health, I could also perform a special whirlwind attack. Mike won't know what hit him. From day 79 to day 84, I was feeling strong and decided to go back to the eroded Badlands. This time, there was no sign of Mike, so I fought some skeletons to test my newfound strength. I wanted to prove to myself that I had what it takes to become the strongest. A nearby weaponsmith saw me defeat those mobs and thought that I was pretty cool, so he offered to upgrade my weapons. This is my chance to get a netherite sword.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just give me your diamond sword and your netherite ingots, and I'll take care of the rest.
I gave the weaponsmith what he needed and waited in anticipation for him to finish my super cool netherite sword. It didn't take him that long, and I could tell just by swinging it that this netherite sword was the most powerful weapon that I'd ever had. Thank you, weaponsmith. I promise to use what you've given me for the side of justice.
Go on and save the world. Every weaponsmith dreams of creating a hero's weapon.
From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the base to show the others that I had obtained the netherite sword and found that it was being attacked by whisperers.
So this is where you ran away to, coward? We're gonna make you feel real silly for leaving Mike in the middle of a fight.
I battled the whisperers with all my might, testing the edge of my netherite sword. These minions had given me trouble in the past, but now I was so much stronger than them that they were barely a threat. I easily defended the base and prevented any further damage to the structures.
Oh man, this guy is actually way too strong. Maybe I should leave this one to Mike. He'll know how to win.
Intimidated by my strength, the whisperers stopped fighting. It was now their turn to run away. Serves you right for trying to mess with my friends. You'll have to deal with this electric tiger now. I chased the whisperers through the Baobab Savannah until my base was far away. Never come back! A villager who saw me bravely face off against Mike's henchmen came over to cheer me on.
You're the electric tiger, the second strongest being in the world.
Soon to be the most strongest, or first strongest, whichever sounds better.
Do you think you can spare some of your strength and give me a hand building a bridge over the river?
Sure thing, villager. I used the materials the villager gave me to finish building the bridge across the river.
Thanks, Zozo. Only a truly strong hero could do something like that.
From day 90 to day 94, I continued onward across the desert and through the eroded Badlands until I saw on the map I was getting close to Mike's arena. I could see one of the whisperers who had attacked my base lingering nearby, and I drew my netherite sword in preparation for a battle. I'm here to see Mike. I'm going to challenge him for the title of strongest being in the world.
Oh, no you didn't. You're gonna need to get this guy first. He's the second strongest in the whole world.
An armored pillager showed up, taking the place of the whisperer as my opponent.
I've heard people say that you're the second strongest in the world. Not true, because that's me. I've never beaten Mike, but I'll beat anyone who isn't Mike.
You won't beat me. I'll take your title, then I'll take on Mike.
Then bring it on, Zozo the Electric Tiger.
The armored villager waited for me to make the first move, which I did, using my netherite sword. He blocked the attack and countered with a strike from his own weapon. I lost quite a few hearts and had to dodge back to avoid the worst of his attacks. I used my energy blast to keep him at a distance, but his armor was as tough as mine. You're pretty strong, pillager.
Are you ready to give up and run away?
No way. I'll never back down from a fight again. From day 95 to day 97, I continued to battle against the armored pillager, utilizing all my specially trained techniques to try and gain an advantage. Have another lightning strike.
I can handle your lightning strikes all the livelong day, Zozo.
We'll see about that. I circled around the armored pillager with my whirlwind attack and delivered sword strikes wherever I could. I was still having trouble cracking the second strongest fighter's armor, but I figured I could soften him up for a lightning strike if I just kept attacking. With my whirlwind active, I spun around and unleashed my lightning strike. With that attack, the pillager surrendered. The electric tiger defeated the armored pillager and became the true second strongest in the world.
No, I couldn't achieve my dream of becoming the strongest in the world.
Why did you want to become the strongest so bad? I'm doing it to protect my friends and myself from Mike.
It started that way for me too, but when I realized I would never win, I became his follower. All the people who believed in me before became sad and stopped being my friends, but they went on to form the Order of the Shield.
Wait, you were the original champion.
No, I was just the guy who tried to be a champion before there was a champion. You've got to be better than me, Zozo.
I will, armored pillager. I'll defeat Mike and become the strongest in the world, once and for all. On day 98, I went back to the base to tell everyone that I would soon be facing off against Mike for the ultimate title. I went to visit Windcaller first, who was standing at the top of the watchtower. Thanks to the strength you gave me at the start, I was able to become the champion that you always thought I could be.
It was like I said long ago. My strength was the foundation, but you built it into something better and made it your own.
Thank you for believing in me.
Here is a bit more of my strength in the form of a potion. Drink it before you go into battle.
Next, I met with Fletcher outside of the chicken farm. I wanted to assure him that once I was the strongest, I would use my strength to protect all of the biomes from evil.
Very soon, the world will be safe. I'm glad I was able to help your quest for strength, Zozo.
You gave me what I needed when I needed it most, and I'm so grateful that I was able to meet you.
Make the most of your magic powers. The special techniques will be the key to victory.
After Fletcher, there was only one last friend to thank, the fungus thrower, who was chilling in the party room.
This room is the best room. Other than a mushroom, of course. That's a fungus.
I look forward to hanging out after I beat Mike once and for all. It'll be a big celebration. On day 99, I made my way back to the eroded Badlands and saw the first glimpses of Mike's base. I approached, and there were the Whisperers waiting to stand in the way. Move aside, small fry. I'm here for Mike. You guys don't need to be involved. The Whisperers bolted for the hills, and I ran straight into Mike's base. On day 100, I walked into Mike's fight club with my netherite sword drawn. Mike, I'm here to fight. The big golem himself, Mike, appeared before me in order to fight.
Zozo the Electric Tiger, you fought all the other strong people in the world, and now you think you can steal my crown.
I do. I'm gonna make sure that you are put down for the count.
Lots of people have said that to me before, and I've beaten them all. I didn't get to be the strongest because I made excuses. I just kept fighting and winning.
But you didn't fight the Whisperers when they started going after the Order of the Shield. You didn't want a champion to fight you.
I don't care what those weaklings do or what fights they get into. All that matters is the fight between me and you. That's how it's always been, destined champion. Let's do this in a place worthy of this showdown.
Mike left, and I ran after him. He turned into his fighting arena. I followed him in when he hit at the entrance and slammed his golem fist into my body. It was the Mike Spike, his signature opening move. I drew my netherite sword and dealt some real damage to him for the first time. I followed up with a whirlwind and a lightning strike. Mike threw me across the fight club. Then he jumped and slammed onto me, dealing a lot of damage. He tried to attack again, but I hit him with an energy blast. He caught him off guard, and I was able to land a bunch of other energy blasts after. Then I remembered to drink up the strength potion Windcaller gave me. I felt much stronger now. As we stood there, swinging away at each other, hit after hit, I was wearing the golem down. Eventually, one of us fell. Mike actually dropped. Yes, Zozo the Electric Tiger wins! I had completed the 100-day challenge to defeat the strongest being in the world. I had won! On day 1, I spawned into the Sika Woods as an adorable little fire rabbit. I may just be a wascally wabbit, but if you mess with me, that doesn't mean you won't get burned. I decided to hop through the woods and explore, hoping I wouldn't accidentally set anything on fire with my burning bunny body. At least I know I'll never get cold. I wanted to stay optimistic, but it got a lot harder when a big, scary bug came crawling out of the forest behind me. It was a Myrmex soldier.
Halt! By order of Her Majesty, the Myrmex Queen. What is your business here?
Don't worry, sir. I was just looking around. I spawned nearby. I can just leave if you want.
Not so fast. We've been told to keep a lookout for suspicious rabbits, and you're both suspicious and a rabbit. Come with me.
But what if I don't want to come with you?
Then I'll just have to take you by force.
I didn't like the idea of being taken by force, so I turned and hopped away as quickly as I could. I may have not had any weapons, but at least I was extremely fast. I'm just a baby fire rabbit for now, with only 10 hearts, but if I can get away from these creepy crawlies, I'll be able to get bigger and stronger. But my little self-pep talk was interrupted by another Myrmex soldier popping out from behind a tree and stopping me in my tracks.
Don't you know it's rabbit season, silly bunny? Us Myrmex soldiers are everywhere in the Sika Woods. You better come with me, or someone, somewhere, is going to enjoy a bowl of rabbit soup tonight.
That was clearly a threat, so I decided to play along and follow him so I could save my fire rabbit skin. On day 2, the Myrmex soldier pushed me all the way to a weird, bee-like looking hive base on the edge of the woods. Not the kind of place where I'd typically like to spend my day. What is this place?
This is the hive, you misbehaving little rabbit. This is where me and my fellow Myrmexes live with our wonderful queen. She's currently in a different biome on royal business, but when she returns, she'll question you personally.
How long will that take, though?
It will take as long as it takes. Do not question the judgment of our beloved queen.
He didn't talk to me much after that. I was taken to some kind of holding cell in the hive and pushed inside to wait for the return of the queen. But she could be gone for weeks. I don't want to be trapped in here for all that time.
You're telling me?
I turned and saw a pink pixie fluttering around the cell, looking bored.
I'm Paris, the pink pixie. I feel like I've been trapped in here forever. I was just flying through the Seco Woods, minding my own business, when those Myrmex goons grabbed me and dragged me in here for being suspicious.
Sorry for making assumptions here, but can't you use your pink pixie magic to get us out of here?
Nope, these walls are magic proof.
But are they fireproof? I walked closer to the wooden fence gates until they caught fire and the blocks started breaking. Soon enough, we were free. As we escaped, a Myrmex soldier almost caught us, but we managed to get out of there.
Thank you for freeing me, Zozo. I'm going to go see my family. They're probably worried about me, but I hope we meet again someday.
I hope that too, Paris. Safe travels. Paris left, and I decided to get out of the Seco Woods before more Myrmexes were sent after me. On day 3, I found my way into the meadow, where I figured that no Myrmex soldier could ever find me. Man, escaping that hive was hungry work though. I wonder if there's some food around here that's perfect for a little fire rabbit like me. Not long after, I found a patch of carrots. Perfect! I dug them up and ate them, feeling my hunger bar replenish. It made me feel a whole lot better. Until another, bigger rabbit hopped over to me, and he didn't seem pleased.
Hey, those are my carrots you just ate. They were prized, award-winning, and you just ate them without even asking me. Do you have any idea how messed up that is?
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I didn't know they were yours. I never would have eaten them if I did.
You think that makes me feel better? I'm still down a bunch of carrots. We rabbits should stick together, not steal from each other.
Is there any way I could make it up to you in the name of rabbit solidarity?
Well, there are a few favors you could do for me. Follow me. I'll figure out a way for you to pay off your debts.
Thank you so much for your forgiveness. I'm Zozo, by the way.
I'm KR. Let's go.
And I followed KR, eager to get back into his good graces. From day 4 to day 5, KR escorted me back to his base in the meadow. He must have been pretty brave to live out here in the middle of nowhere.
This is my place. Don't tell anyone about this place under any circumstances.
Why?
Because I like my privacy. Don't ask too many questions. It's not a likable quality.
Inside the base, he explained to me exactly how I could repay him for eating his special carrots.
As you know, the world is hard for little rabbits like us. People think they can pick on us, look down on us, and I've seen too much of that throughout my life. I've kept a list of the kind of people who have made my life harder over the years. Rabbit haters, you know. Help me get through my list, and not only will you be happier, you'll have repaid your debt.
That sounds like something I could do. Where should I start, KR?
You can start by getting out of here and making your own base. It'd be dangerous for us to be seen together. Take this stone sword and stone pickaxe and make something of yourself before you come back to me.
He gave me the tools, and I got out of there. The meadow gave me the creeps, so I decided I'd set up my base in the ebony woods instead. I used the pickaxe to mine some stone. I made myself an axe and cut down some trees for wood. I found a nice clearing in the forest and built myself a basic base where I could at least sleep with a roof over my head for the night. But when I was done building, I got my first unwelcome visitor, one of the Myrmex soldiers who had captured me earlier.
There you are! I knew you were the killer rabbit, and now I'm gonna put you down.
Killer rabbit? What? That's not me.
I'm not gonna listen to your lies. Time to battle, you bad bunny.
He seemed strong, and as I was, I felt like I couldn't beat him. I summoned up my strength and leveled up. I got bigger, stronger. I now had 20 hearts and a new ability, the Fireball attack. And with one blast of that fireball, the Myrmex soldier was gone. I really am living up to the Fire Rabbit name. From day 6 to day 8, I was exploring the Ebony Woods a little further. It was a strange and magical place, made even more magical by a sudden reappearance, Paris the Pink Pixie. I immediately hopped over to meet her. Hey, Paris, is everything okay?
I wish I could say it was Zozo, but no, something terrible happened. I went to see my family, but they were all gone, and their home was destroyed. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, Paris, that's terrible. Do you want to stay at my base? I can help you in your time of need.
Thank you, Zozo, but right now, I need to be alone. We'll speak again soon. Be safe out there.
Paris the Pink Pixie left. I felt terrible for her and started to wonder if maybe the ones who'd destroyed Paris's family were the same ones that KR warned me about. Maybe it was time to begin my quest. I returned to KR's base in the meadow and asked him what I should do first to complete my mission.
Your first target is the hairy troll further into the meadow. He's a violent, dangerous individual, so you should take him out with extreme prejudice.
Do you think he could have been behind the destruction of the pink pixie family?
What? How do you know about that?
I know the survivor.
There's a strong possibility. But don't ask him about it when you meet him. Just destroy him. He'll try to deceive you.
From day 9 to day 10, I followed KR's instructions and went further out into the meadow. Wow, this is vast and empty. But I pressed on. I needed to avenge Paris and repay my carrot debt to KR. There was no backing out now. Suddenly, the hairy troll jumped out and ambushed me, ready to attack.
I knew he'd send someone after me. Of course he'd be too cowardly to go after me himself. Pathetic.
Cowardly? No. What's cowardly is destroying a whole family of pink pixies rather than picking on someone your own size. I'm just doing a favor for a friend.
You have terrible tasting friends. I've never hurt any pink pixies.
He told me you'd lie. Let's battle. The hairy troll was a tough enemy, but with my sword and fireballs, I was able to defeat him in the end. Shortly after his defeat, a wolf woman came out of the forest.
Wow, you really fried that troll. I had no idea anyone could do those awesome fire tricks.
Thanks. I don't like hurting people, but I needed to stop him from ever hurting anyone, like he hurt the pink pixie family.
Oh, the pink pixie family. I heard about that. It was terrible. But I don't think a troll was behind that. It was some kind of other creature.
So the attacker is still at large? Oh no, I need to speak to KR about this. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to KR's base, telling him that I'd defeated the hairy troll, but that the one who'd attacked the pink pixie family was still out there somewhere.
If the hairy troll wasn't behind it, then it must be the thorn wolf, a truly dangerous and evil creature that lives deep in the ebony woods. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the thorn wolf was behind the pink pixie family attack.
Thorn wolf? Even the name sounds scary.
It's definitely a scary creature. I recommend getting better weapons and tools before you go to destroy it. Otherwise, you may find yourself at a disadvantage.
Good idea, KR. I'll get right on it. I found my way to a cave in the meadow and explored until I found some iron ore veins inside. I used some of my spare stone to make a furnace, then mined the iron ore and smelted it into ingots. Now time to do some crafting. I created an iron sword and an iron pickaxe, an iron chestplate, and then left the cave, where I ran into a creeper spider. Oh no! Rather than engaging, I ran away as quickly as I could. The creeper spider exploded behind me, leaving a huge crater in the ground. From day 13 to day 15, I ventured further into the ebony woods than I ever had before, my little fire rabbit heart filled with fear. If the thorn wolf really was as powerful and as dangerous as KR told me, then I could be in real danger even being around here. As I was exploring, I heard a sound behind me, so I turned and saw the thorn wolf. He was right there, and I was totally surprised. I braced myself for an attack, but he didn't attack. Instead, he spoke with a kindly voice.
Is everything okay, young rabbit? You seem nervous.
Are you the thorn wolf?
Oh, yes. It is my duty to patrol the ebony woods and protect the creatures there.
So you're not a bad guy?
Well, we always try our best, don't we? Stay safe out there, little rabbit.
The thorn wolf left, and I was confused. He was nothing like KR told me. Something really wasn't right here, and I needed to speak to KR immediately. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to the meadow to find KR's base, but it was empty, and KR was nowhere to be seen. This is strange. Maybe he's just out there running some errands. I returned to my base, only to find that Paris the pink pixie was there waiting for me. This couldn't have been a good sign. I knew that much. What's wrong, Paris?
Zozo, it's an emergency. I know who destroyed my family.
Who?
It was a creature they call the killer rabbit. It's one of the most dangerous things in the overworld.
Killer rabbit? KR. Oh no! And just like that, it all came together. KR was the killer rabbit, and he was behind everything. That meant I needed to get back to the thorn wolf as quickly as possible. He was in terrible danger. And I was right, and I didn't realize it soon enough. When I was there, Thorn Wolf was already gone, and only the killer rabbit remained.
I wondered how long it'd take you to figure it out. Oh well, you are at least a good tool for a while, even if you're useless to me now.
I don't get it. Why were you using me like that?
I needed a fall rabbit, someone to take the heat for me. And who's better at taking heat than a fire rabbit? Besides, you really did eat my carrots, and I couldn't let that fly, could I?
You may have used me, Killer Rabbit, but now I'm gonna take you down. I fired a fireball at him, and it seemingly had no effect. And when he hit me, it was like being hit by a train. Everything went dark, and I was gone. From day 20 to day 22, I woke up, and the Killer Rabbit was gone. Instead, a mysterious figure was standing next to me, a large hippogriff.
Do you work for or with the Killer Rabbit? Answer quickly.
No, I only ever worked with him when he was tricking me. Now I know who he truly is. I'm 100% against him.
Good, then we have a common enemy. I am Laharl the Hippogriff, and I was a friend of the Thorn Wolf. We were defenders of the people, guardians of the forest. But now he's gone, and only I remain.
You're not alone. I want to be better. I'm Zozo. Let me become a guardian of the forest too. We're going to defeat the Killer Rabbit together. Come to my base with me, and we'll start to plan.
Agreed. We will defeat that monstrous creature and keep the people of the forest safe forevermore.
I went into the forest with a Laharl, and we gathered enough stone and wood to construct a new house for him to stay in. Together, we'd be stronger than we'd ever been before. From day 23 to day 26, I was hopping back through the Sika woods where I first spawned when I saw the pink glow of Paris the Pixie. Predictably, Paris the Pixie was in peril, perpetuated by a pestering pursuer. Excuse me, so much alliteration.
Zozo, is that you? Help! This wind serpent is trying to blow me away!
The wind serpent did indeed look fierce, but even a gust of wind will only fan the flames of this fire rabbit. I hopped forward and hit the wind serpent with a fireball. The slithering mob stopped chasing Paris and started to fly towards me. We battled it out in melee, and I was able to bring it down with my sword.
Somehow I knew I could count on you, Zozo.
I'm just glad you still trust me. I attacked all the wrong people because of KR, and I let that menace run free all the while. That Killer Rabbit gives our kind a bad name.
You weren't the only one fooled by his goody-good act. Don't worry, Zozo. I know that you're out here trying to do the right thing.
Doing the best that I can, and I'll work with anyone else who is willing to help me take that lying killer down.
Count me in. My family got hurt because of his wicked ways. He won't be getting away with that.
Thanks, Paris. From day 27 to day 31, I found a flock of sheep wandering through the woods. They looked really tired, like they had been walking for several days. I hopped over to see what was going on, and soon found out what had happened. These sheep were friends of the Thorn Wolf from the Ebony Woods, and since he was gone, they'd been looking for a new protector to save them from the Killer Rabbit. You'll be safe at my base, sheep. Not only is it back where you used to live, but I'll be your protector now. When I got back to my base in the Ebony Woods, I helped the sheep settle in and then went to go see how Laharl was holding up.
Welcome back, Zozo. I made the base cooler by adding some red banners.
Wow, awesome work, Laharl. All the buildings at the base now had awesome rabbit banners on them, which suited me just fine. Meanwhile, over at the real Killer Rabbit's base, not the pretend base over in the meadow, he was now in the process of maniacally planning his next wicked plot from his evil lair.
Now, there may be a few people around who know that I'm the Killer Rabbit, but I think we can arrange some accidents for those individuals. What say you, my fine warden dragon friend?
If there's anyone who is good at causing accidents, it's me. They might as well call me Daisy. First name Oopsie, full name Oopsie Daisy. You just had an accident of the you're not gonna be around anymore kind.
We're really gonna need to work on your threatening lines there, Oopsie.
It's difficult. My evil boss is a rabbit. Sorry, boss.
You better wise up. I'm not just any rabbit. I'm a killer rabbit.
From day 32 to day 35, I remembered that one of the Myrmex soldiers that I had encountered said that they had been looking for suspicious rabbits. So I made the choice to go and seek out the hive of the Myrmex queen. I might be a rabbit, but I know what suspicious one they might be looking for. If I tell them who the Killer Rabbit is, maybe all the other rabbits will stop being captured like I was. I made it to the hive and found that it was guarded by Myrmex soldiers. I guess I should have expected that.
Halt and stay halted.
I'm not halting. I'm here to see the queen.
Like we'd fall for that one, rabbit.
The Myrmex soldier tried to fight me, but I dodged his attacks. I didn't want to hurt anybody while I was trying to make an alliance, so I shot a fireball away from them to let them know who I was. Look, I'm not the rabbit you're looking for. I've got fire powers. Fire powers? But that means you're the one who broke out of the cell. That is true, but only because I shouldn't have been there in the first place. I know which rabbit really did the crimes, so he should be the one who does the time. Okay, we still have questions, but that rhyme convinced us to take you to the queen. Yes, don't be mean. Let me see the queen. You can stop rhyming now. The Myrmex soldiers let me inside of the hive so that I could have my important meeting with the Myrmex queen. Naturally, the room where I was able to speak with the queen was her own throne room.
I am the Myrmex Queen. What is your request to my majesty, small rabbit?
It concerns the fate of all the land, your Myrmex queenliness. I know who the killer rabbit is.
You do? Oh, at long last, that monster has been found. How do you know about him?
He went by the name KR, and now he's on a new spree of attacks on innocent creatures all throughout the biomes.
He always was like that, even in my mother's time. She was the Myrmex Queen before me, and when the creatures of the woods started being attacked, she suspected everyone but the innocent-looking rabbit. It was her mistake, because the killer rabbit claimed her as another one of his victims. I had to take over the throne, just as my mother's killer went into hiding. I've been hunting him down ever since.
It's such a sad story. I promise to help you bring the killer rabbit to justice with all the fire in my heart.
There is more, but it's far too painful to talk about. You should go home for now. I will send a soldier to visit once I've emotionally prepared myself.
From day 36 to day 39, I got ready to take my armor up a notch in defense by preparing to go back into the cave for some more iron ore. The killer rabbit was a lot older and more experienced than me, so I had to be all the more prepared for our eventual showdown. I soon found a spot in the cave where iron was abundant and mined away, adding the iron ore to my inventory. Next, I got out my crafting table and smelted the iron ore into the iron ingots I would need to craft the rest of my armor. That should do it. Alright, time to become an iron fire rabbit. I made myself an iron axe since I had been gathering so much wood lately, and an iron helmet, iron leggings, and a pair of iron boots to complete my full set of iron armor. You can't see it on my fur, but believe me, it's there. Now equipped with all this brand new iron gear, I ventured deeper in the cave and found that beneath the iron, there were a few diamonds to be mined. I made sure to get them before I left. Later on, I was back above ground when I got an unexpected visitor. He was half rabbit and half wolf. A rabbit wolf. Hi there. Bet you never met nobody like me before. Hey, you're right. Anyway, the Myrmex Queen said I could leave the dungeon cell at the hive if I went and brought you back to her. Let me guess, her soldiers locked you up because you were a suspicious rabbit? Well, yeah, I mean, look at me. I'm such a suspicious rabbit, it's hard to know if I'm even a rabbit. Anyway, you should go meet the Myrmex Queen over in the Ebony Woods. From day 40 to day 43, I went to meet the Myrmex Queen over in the Ebony Woods. Your queenliness, I am excited to work together and solve these crimes.
I knew the rabbit wolf wouldn't fail to bring you here. If you ever see him again, make sure to thank him for me.
I certainly will. So, are you ready to tell me more about the killer rabbit and his previous rampage?
Yes, it's time you knew everything about what happened with him.
Even though we had met in a secret location and were trying to keep our conversation quiet, Oopsie Daisy the Warden Dragon had super powerful hearing and was able to pick up on our voices from another part of the woods.
Oopsie daisy, time for an accident to happen. On purpose.
He barged into the clearing and fired a sonic laser blast at me, which did many hearts of damage. Hey, what's the big idea?
Nothing. I just happened to be totally unintentionally getting rid of two people who know who the killer rabbit is. By accident.
Aha! Now I know who you work for. You just said it was the killer rabbit.
Ah, darn it. I actually didn't mean to do that. Oh well, I'll just make you disappear. Then nobody will know.
He fired another sonic blast my way, which I almost avoided. I countered with a fireball that didn't seem to do much. I looked around for the Myrmex Queen and saw that she had escaped while I had been talking to the Warden Dragon. Yeah, I should probably do the same thing. I ran off into the woods, trying to go a different direction so that the Warden Dragon wouldn't know who to follow. From day 44 to day 49, I had gotten away from the Warden Dragon and safely arrived back at my base. I never expected the Myrmex Queen to be there as well, waiting to continue our conversation from where we left off. I was happy to see that she was okay and could fend for herself, even without her soldiers. I guess the killer rabbit knows we both know about him. That's why he sent that Warden Dragon to destroy us.
Perhaps he needs to rely on his henchmen now, because he isn't as strong as he used to be.
You mean that he used to be stronger? He totally demolished me the last time we fought.
Well, He still is the killer rabbit, but he used to carry around a secret rare battle axe that made it really easy for him to make anyone he wanted disappear forever.
He was a killer rabbit with a killer battle axe? That's so scary. How did you stop him?
I didn't. A mysterious mob known as a Crimson Phantom laid a curse upon the battle axe so that the killer rabbit could never use it again.
I know. Maybe if we find this battle axe, we could use it against him.
Didn't stop the killer rabbit from being evil, but it did weaken him.
Then I'm off to the meadow.
That's good thinking, Zozo. I heard that the battle axe was crafted deep down in the depths of the meadow. You can find some clues about it there.
From day 50 to day 53, I delved all the way to the end of the meadow in order to find out more information about who crafted the battle axe that the killer rabbit used in his previous reign of terror. After a lot of searching, I came across an abandoned workshop that looked like it was once used for smithing weapons. This must be the place, I reckon. I found a book near the crafting table that was titled Axe Maker's Notes and opened it up to read the words inside. I have made a lot of axes out of a lot of different materials in my day, and boy do I love doing it. It's my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. In fact, it's the only thing I do. I'm the axe maker after all. But this latest axe, it's not like the other ones. It's got an evil aura around it, like it's too sharp and too scary just to be used on trees. This axe seems like it could kill someone. It's a killer axe. I better get rid of it before someone uses it for evil. Oh wait, what's that? Someone is coming. The sentence in the book ended there, and the rest of the pages were blank. Oh no, the killer rabbit must have snuck up behind the axe maker and gotten rid of him so he could steal the killer axe. What a fiend! Still, from what I'd read, the battle axe was a powerful weapon. It must be able to hurt the killer rabbit if he was willing to do so much to get it. I looked around for more clues, but couldn't find any, so I gave up and started to head back to my base. From day 54 to day 57, I was making my way through the meadow when I happened to pass by the area where I had found those carrots before. Didn't the killer rabbit say that those carrots were his? If I know rabbits, and I probably do because I am one, then that could mean that the killer rabbit's base might be around here too. I was excited that I had discovered a clue, but that excitement was quickly lost when the Warden dragon showed up to blast me with a sonic laser attack.
Oops, pardon me. That time I was trying to get rid of you, and I accidentally didn't do enough damage.
You did enough, actually. You don't have to do any more damage.
No, I think I do. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do all the damage to you.
As much as I wanted to, I was still not strong enough to take down the Warden dragon, so I made my escape as quickly as I could. Even though I didn't find it, I was right about the killer rabbit's base being nearby. The horrible hare was there right now, scheming up a storm.
Soon, yes, very soon, I will find a way to reverse the curse and take back my battle axe. All of them will pay then.
From day 58 to day 62, I had made it back to the base and saw that Laharl had created a storage room for all of our weapons. Great work, Laharl!
Thanks. I just figured since you were talking about a rare secret killer battle axe, I should make some room for it. One thing led to another, and now there's a whole room full of every other weapon we had.
There seems to be a lot of empty spaces. I guess I'll have to make us some more.
We could definitely use some diamond ones, since we don't have any yet.
Good point. I'll see if there are any more diamonds down in the mine. I went down to the mines, and it was just my luck. There were some more diamonds right in the same cavern where I had found the previous ones. I dug all around so that I could have enough for a diamond weapon to put in the weapon storage room. Once the diamonds were gathered, I chose to craft 2 diamond swords, one for myself and one for storage. I also crafted a diamond chestplate and a diamond pickaxe because diamonds make everything better. From day 63 to day 66, Laharl and I were hanging out in the base when our conversation suddenly turned serious.
When are we gonna do something about that killer rabbit, Zozo? He's starting to become a real problem for everyone.
I know, Laharl, but I can't even defeat the clumsy Warden dragon he sent to make me disappear, much less the killer rabbit himself.
But if you had that secret rare killer battle axe, you might stand a chance.
But that's the trouble. I don't have that secret rare killer battle axe.
Not yet you don't, but I think I might know where it is.
Take me to it then. Don't you know how serious I am about wanting to stop the killer rabbit? Laharl listened to how serious I was and took me to the eroded Badlands where we found some cursed ruins. We walked up to them until we hit an invisible barrier. How did these ruins get so cursed?
A long time ago, the Crimson Phantom put a curse on these ruins that won't let anyone else enter.
The Crimson Phantom? Isn't that the same creature that cursed the battle axe?
Yes, but it looks like we need to get him to lift the curse before we can check to see if the battle axe is here.
From day 67 to day 70, the Myrmex Queen came into the base and told me that she had also been searching for the Crimson Phantom.
He's been sighted in the Ebony Woods, but my guards weren't able to capture him. He's even taken a few down.
I didn't realize this Crimson Phantom was such a dangerous creature.
He sure is. I could really use your help bringing the Crimson Phantom in.
Then let's do it. You can count on me, your queenliness. We left my base and went through the woods to find the Crimson Phantom flying away after having just defeated one of the Myrmex soldiers.
You'll never take me alive. I'm the dang old Crimson Phantom, you bunch of goofballs.
Knock it off, Crimson Phantom. We need your help.
Nah, who needs my help?
He attacked, so I had to blast him with fire. The Crimson Phantom was definitely strong based on the way he tanked my attack. So I whacked him a few times with my diamond sword. Please, don't fight! We just want to stop the killer rabbit, and we know that you do too. You put a curse on his battle axe so he couldn't hurt people with it.
So what if I did? It was probably the nicest thing I ever did for anyone.
It doesn't have to be if you help us again. Please, Crimson Phantom.
Ah, shucks. How can I say no to an innocent rabbit?
And just like that, I convinced the Crimson Phantom to help us retrieve the secret rare killer battle axe so we could defeat the killer rabbit. From day 71 to day 74, that pesky accident-prone Warden Dragon showed up at my base to try to get rid of me again.
Come on out and face me, Zozo. What's the worst that could happen? It will.
I hadn't gotten any stronger since we fought before, but my weapons and armor were a bit more durable, so I hopped out and decided to take him on. Take this, Daisy! Fireball! I circled around the Warden Dragon, shooting fireballs and trying to avoid his sonic blast. I wasn't fast enough, and my armor couldn't protect me. I took many hearts of damage. I got down to just half a heart. Oh no, is this how I'm gonna go out?
Apparently not, because instead of doing you in, I'm accidentally going to steal your best friend Laharl and completely not on purpose hold him hostage somewhere.
You monster! Why?
I don't know. I'm not sure why I do anything anymore, but I am evil.
The Warden Dragon dragged Laharl away, and there was nothing I could do about it because I was too weak. I can't do this! I'm just a rabbit! I went to the room to mope about it and closed myself away from everyone else. I couldn't let them see me after such an embarrassing defeat. That was until the Crimson Phantom arrived.
Hey there, Zozo. Don't blame yourself for what happened. You'll get Laharl back.
You really think so, Crimson Phantom?
Of course I do. And once you do, you won't have to worry, because I've given your base some sweet defenses.
You wasn't kidding. The Crimson Phantom had made a wall around the base, which had a curse on it so it wouldn't allow any of my enemies to pass through. From day 75 to day 78, I learned more about the perimeter wall, like how it would only let people that I trusted into the base. The Myrmex Queen was definitely someone I knew I could trust. The perimeter wall let her right through. Greetings, your queenliness.
Zozo, there is one more thing I didn't tell you about the killer rabbit, but I'm going to tell you what that is now.
What is it, Myrmex Queen?
Your friend, Laharl, he kept this secret from you because he wanted to protect you. The truth is that the curses of the Crimson Phantom can be reversed by the feathers of a live hippogriff.
You mean that now the killer rabbit can…
Reverse the curse and reclaim his ultimate weapon, yes! You must go and rescue Laharl before the killer rabbit extracts his feathers.
I will! I think I know now where in the meadow his base is. The Myrmex Queen gave me some javelins to serve as a ranged weapon and wished me luck as I departed. From day 79 to day 84, I searched for the killer rabbit's base in the meadow. I knew that it had to be somewhere around where I had found that fateful carrot patch. Sure enough, Oopsie Daisy the Warden Dragon was wandering around in plain view of that area. He had taken Laharl captive earlier, and now he was going to tell me where he was. Hey you, give me back my friend.
Oops, you aren't supposed to find me.
Well, now I have, and I'm gonna scorch you. I rained fireballs and javelins down on him from a distance, but it still wasn't enough, and his sonic blast still hurt quite a bit.
What was I worried about? It's not like you could defeat me even if I accidentally let you.
I was beginning to think I was done for, and then Laharl swooped down from above and attacked the Warden Dragon while his sonic blasts were focused on me.
Oh no, I should have seen that coming, but I accidentally did not.
Laharl's attacks did enough damage to bring the Warden Dragon down and defeat him for good. After the Warden Dragon was defeated, I approached Laharl. Laharl, you're free.
I sure am, Zozo. That warden dragon accidentally let me go before we even got to the lair of the killer rabbit. I've just been down here in the meadow, trying not to get caught again.
At any rate, I'm glad you managed to get away. I was worried about you.
I found something else while I was down here. A golden apple that is said to imbue the one who eats it with true strength, as long as they are pure of heart. It's yours now, Zozo.
Gee, thanks! I'm starving! I ate the golden apple and could feel myself transform. I must have been pure of heart because I grew into a supersized fire rabbit and had a grand total of 60 hearts. My jump was given a big boost too, allowing me to reach higher heights than ever before. From day 85 to day 89, Laharl and I went back to the base where things were once again becoming super ultra serious all of a sudden.
Zozo, it is time. I'm gonna take you back to the eroded Badlands so we can get that battle axe.
But how are we going to bypass the curse? Oh wait, aren't your feathers the way to do it?
Yes, my feathers can make a magic key that will let you get through. I held off on telling you until I was sure that you were pure of heart. But now that I know you are, and that you won't become another killer rabbit once you get the battle axe, I can give you the key.
Laharl gave me a bunch of his hippogriff feathers, and I crafted them into a key.
Use the key at the ruin. It'll be like I am with you.
I did as my good friend Laharl said, and traveled back to the cursed ruins in the eroded Badlands. With the magic key, I was able to bypass the curse and enter the ruins. Inside, I found the battle axe, lying in wait for me to claim it. I'm gonna put the magic key that Laharl made away. It'd be pretty silly if I accidentally reversed the curse and made it so that the killer rabbit could use the killer axe. After I had safely stowed the key, I took the secret rare battle axe from its place and left the ruins. From day 90 to day 94, I stepped out of the ruins and found the killer rabbit standing out there to confront me in the eroded Badlands.
How do you do, fellow rabbit?
It's over, KR. I have the battle axe now, and you'll never break the curse on it.
That's the thing about you, Zozo. You always think you understand everything. That's why it's so easy to trick you.
Nuh-uh. This time I do understand everything. I understand that you are a ruthless monster who must be stopped before he hurts anyone else.
But think of what we could accomplish if you joined me. Nobody would disrespect us bunnies anymore. We would be the top of the woods.
I'll never join you, killer rabbit.
Suit yourself. By the way, I accidentally picked up some feathers that your hippogriff friend Laharl dropped down in the meadow.
That's not good. The killer rabbit leaped forth and wrestled with me for the axe. I was a strong rabbit, but he was still stronger. And before I could stop him, he reversed the curse on the axe and took it back. No, you tricked me. I thought I understood, but I didn't.
You're too naive. Now wallow here in this sand pit.
He jumped on the sand I was sitting on, and the impact of his landing made the sand collapse, so I fell into a deep hole. From day 95 to day 97, I used my boosted jumps to slowly but surely make my way back up to the surface of the eroded Badlands. There was no time to lose. Now that the killer rabbit had the super secret rare killer battle axe, he was going to go on his biggest spree of attacks yet. And I know who he's gonna go after first. I rushed back to the Sika Woods and entered the hive of the Mermex Queen. Her soldiers were destroyed, and that wasn't even the worst part. In her throne room, the Mermex Queen was dying after having just been attacked by the killer rabbit and his killer axe. No, your queenliness!
Zozo, so you made it.
I'm so sorry. I tried to stop him, but he tricked me once again. And now he's wiped out your entire hive.
Do not worry. As long as there is a Mermex Queen, the hive will be able to replenish itself. What you must do now is get the battle axe away from him at all costs.
I'll do it. Even if I have to risk everything, I will do it.
In a few days, my final egg will hatch and become the new queen. You need to protect her for me.
I will, your queenliness. She passed on, leaving me behind in the world that I must save. On day 98, I returned to my base in the Ebony Woods and found that the perimeter wall and the rest of the base was destroyed. Laharl was there, but nobody else had survived the attack.
He came for the Crimson Phantom, Zozo, to make sure that he was never cursed again. Now the battle axe is his forever.
Don't say that, Laharl. I know that you and I get serious sometimes, but we always keep on trying to make things better.
The only reason he left me alive is in case anyone else cursed the axe, so that I could reverse it.
So that killer rabbit only spared you for his own reasons. That makes me so mad.
He'll probably fool you again if you give in to your emotions.
Well, my emotions are pure right now, and every spark of fire in my being demands justice.
And what the heck? Go get that battle axe. You're strong enough now. I can feel it.
Laharl cheered me on as I marched off through the woods. On day 99, I arrived in the meadow with a burning passion in my heart. I was ready to take down that killer rabbit with all my strength and all of my fire. Once I was inside his base, I came face to face with my nemesis once more.
You never learn, do you, Zozo? Like fire, you think you're bright, but when it rains, you go out.
The only reign I see now is your reign of terror, and it ends here.
A clever use of two words that sound alike, but you've forgotten already that I have the killer axe.
Actually, it is you who has forgotten. That battle axe was accidentally forged to be evil, but it was touched by a hero who was pure of heart. I jumped at him, and once more, we wrestled with the axe. This time, I managed to get it away from him and ran out of his base. The secret to the battle axe that I was finally able to understand was that it was cursed twice. Once I was back home, I used some more of Laharl's feathers I found in his base to undo the first curse that happened when it was made, turning it into a weapon of pure goodness and justice. Now, no evildoer could ever wield it. Only I could wield the battle axe. On day 100, I returned to the meadow with the new and improved super justified hero axe and faced off against the killer rabbit.
Why did you come back? I might have let you live for a while.
I had to. There's a whole world out there that needs to be protected from rotten rabbits like you. There is a young Myrmex queen who will hatch today. There is a hippogriff who is my best friend. For them, for everyone, my fires of good will burn out your evil. The killer rabbit hopped at me, but with the battle axe in my hand, my attacks were strong enough to take his hearts away.
Curse you, Zozo!
Haven't you got it yet? I can't be cursed. I blasted him with fireball after fireball, and then swung the battle axe down on him, ending the fight. There is a new rabbit in this land, and he's a protector rabbit. On day 1, I spawned into the ancient forest as an elemental enderman. Elemental enderman? Whoa! So I guess that makes me a guardian of nature. Still, I only have 5 hearts. In the blink of an eye, before I even realized what was happening, I suddenly warped a few feet away from myself. Oh wow! I guess elemental endermen have the power to teleport, like other endermen. This just keeps getting cooler and cooler. But I looked around the ancient forest around me and noticed that something was wrong. Really wrong. If the ancient forest is the true home of all elemental endermen, how come I'm the only one here? Before I had a chance to ponder this question, a gang of skeleton vanguards turned up, and they didn't look happy.
Dang, looks like we missed one, boys. We better grab this elemental enderman too, or Mr. Boss is gonna kick all our butts.
Wait, who's gonna kick your butt? What does this have to do with me?
Sorry, buddy, but orders are orders. We gotta bring you in.
I didn't feel like I was strong enough to fight the skeleton vanguards yet, so instead, I used my warping power and got out of there. It would have been good news if the place to the ancient forest I'd teleported to didn't already have a creepy whisperer already waiting for me. I just can't win today. I ran away as fast as I could, eventually just laying down under some ancient tree when I got too tired. I need to figure out why those skeleton vanguards were after me. Also, who's this Mr. Boss guy, and what does he have against elemental endermen? On day 2, I woke up under the tree with a sore back from sleeping on the ground. Man, I really need to get myself a bed. I wasn't going to just sit and wait around. I wandered out into the forest to start making my own luck. But first, I'm gonna need some tools. I broke down a tree until I had enough wood and sticks to make a crafting bench and a wooden pickaxe, then mined enough stone to make a stone pickaxe and a stone sword, just in case. That's more like it. As I was wandering through the forest, looking for a big enough plot to build my base on, I saw a secret cabin with a wind caller watching me from the doorway. I walked over to say hello.
It's surprising to see an elemental enderman out here. I thought Mr. Boss's goons nabbed them all.
I guess I'm the one who got away. But who is this Mr. Boss guy, and why is he making so much trouble for me?
It's not just you, if it makes you feel any better. Mr. Boss is a jerk to everyone because he thinks he's the best. And when he thinks someone has more power than him, he tries to destroy them to make himself feel better.
What an awful thing to do! I better work hard until I can stop him.
You're definitely not going to stop him like that, kid. You look half-starved. Here, take these apples.
The friendly windcaller gave me a bunch of apples to take with me. I thanked him, then mined some extra stone and wood before going on my way.
On day 3, I got really lucky. I found some kind of old abandoned structure in the woods where it didn't look like anybody had lived for years. It's a little rundown and creepy, but with a little love and care, this might make a perfect elemental Enderman base. So that's exactly what I did. I went through the building, fixing up the broken walls and clearing the cobwebs. It was really coming along. But just as I was starting to make some real progress, I saw a wave whisperer coming right towards my base. I need to take care of this thing before it causes any harm around here. I ran out of the base and drew my stone sword. I warped right over to the wave whisperer and took it on, hacking away until it was nothing but XP. So much XP, in fact, that I leveled up. I not only got bigger and went from 5 to 10 hearts, I gained a new ability, turning invisible for a limited time. Mr. Boss is never gonna see me coming. With the Wave Whisperer taken care of, I spent the rest of the day fixing up the base. It was looking good as new. From day 4 to day 5, I went deeper into the ancient forest, hoping there I'd find some more materials to help improve the size of my base. After all, with Mr. Boss out there, I really needed to be well defended. I hope the ancient forest will forgive me for using its resources for the greater good. But during my gathering mission, I accidentally ran into the same group of skeleton vanguards who had been chasing me since I spawned here.
Well, 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 if it isn't the elemental Enderman whose skinny legs got too big for his boots.
Now I know you skeleton vanguards are the minions of some guy called Mr. Boss. Why do you even work for someone who's so mean?
'Cause we're mean too, duh. Plus, he pays well. So if he doesn't like the look of someone and wants them taken care of, we're happy to do what he says. Get 'em, boys.
The skeleton vanguard started attacking me, but this time I wasn't just going to sit there and take it. I used my stone sword to fight back, and soon enough, I defeated the whole group. From day 6 to day 8, I found an underground cavern that I'd heard rumors was rich with different materials. It was the perfect place to start my very own mine. I constructed a furnace near the entrance and started mining until I found some veins of iron, exactly what I wanted. I mined the iron and used my furnace to make myself some iron ingots. With those, it was a cinch to make myself an iron sword, pickaxe, and a chest plate. This is really gonna up my mining and fighting game. How exciting! And I needed to test those new qualities quickly because a bunch of mossy skeletons were emerging from the darkness, and it was already too late to try turning invisible. Guess these guys have a bone to pick with me. Using my new iron sword, I defeated each and every one of the mossy skeletons. This upgraded gear had already paid for itself. From day 9 to day 10, I traveled further from my home and went all the way to the Black Forest so I could sustainably get some wooden blocks from there rather than overusing the ancient forest. Despite its sinister name, the Black Forest was a nice and peaceful place for the most part. I didn't have any trouble going through and cutting down a few trees to collect the blocks. Until, on my way back through the forest, I ran into a big, wide golem with purple veins going through him. I just knew this had to be Mr. Boss.
Yo, you're that dweeby little elemental Enderman that's been messing with all my boys. Not cool, just like you. Am I gonna have to teach you some manners, you little tree hugger?
I think it's you that needs the lesson in manners, Mr. Boss. Stay out of these forests. I warped right over to him and attacked him with my iron sword, but it had literally no effect. He just laughed, and I backed away, terrified at how strong he was.
Nice, that almost tickled. Now it's my turn, you little runt.
But if those were the hits he could take, I definitely didn't want to see the ones he could give. I turned invisible and ran away before he could catch me. There's no way I could beat this guy like this. He's just too strong. While I was running away, I turned visible again and ran into a mountaineer who was also in the Black Forest. He looked at me like I was oddly familiar.
Running, huh? From Mr. Boss?
Wait, how did you know?
He's been shaking down everyone around these parts, the big mean bully. Nobody's been strong enough to stop him before, so we all just let him boss us around.
Well, that stops here. I'm sick of his bullying. I'm gonna get strong enough to defeat Mr. Boss once and for all. I led the mountaineer back through the Black Forest. I had made my first ever ally. From day 11 to day 12, I led the mountaineer back to my base.
I see room for improvement, sure, but it's nice to have a roof over my head. Thank you, Zozo. I'm happy to stay here with you.
Of course, my first course of action was adding a new room to my base, complete with a bed so that the mountaineer could sleep.
Oh, nice and cozy, just how I like it.
I know what you like, bro. But my encounter with Mr. Boss made me realize just how dangerous he was, and I needed to be as tough as possible to survive an encounter with him. That's why I went back to my underground mining cavern to mine some more iron ore. And while I was exploring the old mine, I found something interesting, a bow and some arrows. It's always useful to have a long-range attack. Yoink! While I was smelting the iron ore, it turned out I found that bow just in time. I was attacked by a dread beast that had been hiding out in the cavern. I didn't want it to get too close to me, so I used my bow to take it out at a distance. It was a real lifesaver. With the extra iron ore I gathered, I made myself some new ingots and some new pieces of iron armor. That made me way more defensible. I also had enough to make the axe and the shovel. I'm fully ironed out now. And speaking of defensible, I went back to my base afterwards and started construction on a perimeter wall. I even put up a little sign, "No Mr. Boss allowed." Yeah, that'll show him. From day 13 to day 15, I went back to the Windcaller's secret cabin in the ancient forest to tell him how I was doing and share everything I'd learned. It turns out Mr. Boss is way stronger than I thought, Windcaller. I thought he was just some average bully. I had no idea he was some super powerful mob boss.
Perhaps I wasn't fully honest with you about what you were going up against, Zozo. Mr. Boss certainly is a nasty customer. He was your average village-defending golem once, but one day he went bad. Sick of working for the villagers, he decided that everyone would work for him. Right now, he's probably in the boss base, a special mansion he constructed to house him and his skeleton vanguards. They're up there, feasting all day, planning what evil deeds they'll commit next. Just for fun, and to feel powerful. And so far, nobody has ever been able to defeat him. But Zozo, that doesn't mean you can't be the first.
No, I'm sorry, Windcaller, but I think he might just be too powerful. If everyone else has failed to defeat him, I don't think I'm gonna be the exception. Before Windcaller could try to encourage me otherwise, I left back to my base, feeling ashamed. From day 16 to day 19, I started off just sitting around my base, moping. I already felt like a failure, and if I couldn't even stand up to Mr. Boss, I didn't even know why I spawned here. But my self-pity was interrupted by the Mountaineer approaching me with a quest, an important, personal one.
Zozo, I need your help. A good friend of mine, Dottie the Dodo Hippogriff, has been missing in the Crag Gardens for days. I need you to go find her.
Of course, Mountaineer, I'll get right on it. I set off on a long journey to the Crag Gardens to find the Mountaineer's friend, Dodie. Lucky for me, but unlucky for her, I almost immediately found her getting attacked by a Dreadlich. Hey, get away from her! This distracted the Dreadlich, giving Dottie a chance to run away. It was just me and the Dreadlich now.
You dare come to my domain and tell me what I can and cannot do, Elemental Enderman?
Nobody should bully and attack people anywhere, for any reason.
Foolish and weak. For this, I shall destroy you where you stand.
But it didn't quite turn out that way. Instead, I pulled out my iron sword and fought back. His magic staff allowed him to attack me with his magical plasma, but soon enough, the Dreadlich was defeated, and I'd gained enough XP to level up again. I got bigger, jumped up to 30 hearts, and gained a new power, Elemental Blast. I'll have to test that out on an enemy at some point. With the Dreadlich gone, Dodie came back to thank me for saving her. I'm here because your friend the Mountaineer was really worried about you, Dottie. He sent me back to come look for you.
I'm so sorry that I worried him, but I came out here for a very good reason. I was searching for the Scythe of Justice.
Oh? What's that?
It's a legendary enchanted scythe that apparently lends its users incredible power. It might be exactly what we need to defeat Mr. Boss.
Wait, if a weapon like that exists, I might be able to stop Mr. Boss after all. Come with me, Dottie. I have a new plan. And so, Dottie and I started journeying back to my base. From day 20 to day 22, Dottie and I returned to my base, only to find that it was already under attack from another gang of skeleton vanguards. Wow, these jerks really don't know when to quit. Stand back, Dottie. I ran in and defeated those nasty skeleton vanguards with an energy blast, followed by some well-placed slashes with my iron sword. Not so tough now, are you? I extinguished the fires and took some time to build a new section of the base where Dottie could stay while she was hanging out with me and the Mountaineer.
This looks so cozy, Zozo. Thank you.
Once Dottie was settled in, I spoke to the Mountaineer. He had a plan.
Zozo, let's build a statue. I can tell you've been having some motivation issues lately. Maybe if we could build you a cool statue, it'll help keep you inspired and remind you what's important.
It's a great idea, Mountaineer. Let's split up and search for some materials. I went out into the ancient forest and gathered up some blocks for the construction. But by the time I came back, I was astonished to find that the Mountaineer had already made some great progress. This is coming on amazingly, Mountaineer.
Thanks, Zozo. How about you work on the next bit? My arms could use a rest.
While the Mountaineer rested, I went to work on the statue with the blocks I'd collected. Can you tell what it's gonna be? I wonder if you can guess. Oh, and if you want some more exciting Zozo adventures, hit subscribe and ring the bell to never miss another one. From day 23 to day 26, I started off the week by fighting off another gang of nasty mobs, some whisperers. They were descending right onto my base. Why don't you guys respect my personal space? I worked hard on this base. I pulled out my bow and took out each of the whisperers one by one. Then I warped out to check and see if they had dropped anything. Turns out they dropped a few shark tooth arrows. Those would be useful later. I should go search for somewhere to test out these new arrows. That's why I decided to take a trip to the Cypress Swampland, where I'd never been before. And they certainly knew how to roll out the welcome wagon, because it didn't take long for me to be attacked by some dread scuttlers. Good thing I have those arrows, because I wouldn't even want to get near those things. Thanks to a few well-placed shark tooth arrows, the dread scuttlers were soon defeated. I kept exploring until eventually I ran into a pink pixie.
Hi there, I'm Greta, the pink pixie. I don't want to be a bother, but I was wondering if I could ask for a favor.
Hi Greta, I'm Zozo, and of course, what's the favor?
This big meanie called Mr. Boss chased me out of my home, and now I don't have anywhere to live. Could I come stay with you for a while? My friends tell me that I have great interior design skills.
Of course you can come stay with me, Greta. Let's go! We both went back to my base, where I built Greta a nice little room. Perfect for a dainty pink pixie. The only thing I didn't expect was for her to have already built something for me.
Take a look, Zozo. I built you a relaxation room. It's perfect for chilling out after a long, hard day of trying to defeat evil in the overworld.
This is awesome, Greta, thank you! Let's take some time to relax in there now. From day 27 to day 31, I decided to speak to Greta, the pink pixie, in the relaxation room and ask her where I might be able to find the Scythe of Justice.
Oh wow, the Scythe of Justice! I've heard so many legends. People have told me that the Scythe is strongly in tune with the forces of nature, so it's possible that it could be in the forest. Try the deciduous forest first. That place is pretty darn magical.
Taking Greta's advice, I immediately journeyed out to the deciduous forest. It was a very magical place, and I felt my elemental Enderman soul feeling strongly connected to the nature all around me. Until the Illusioner showed up.
Yes, it is I, Zozo, the Illusioner. Mr. Boss sent me to ensure that you never get your hands on the Scythe of Justice. The glory shall be mine, mine, mine!
Even if I say please?
I'm evil, Zozo. Please means nothing to me. Now hold still, so I can destroy you!
The Illusioner fired an energy blast at me. I took the hit, but thankfully I was able to tank it. I pulled out my sword and attacked the Illusioner until he was begging for mercy.
Okay, you've won this time, Zozo, but I'll get you next time. Mark my words, I'll get you next time!
And with that, the Illusioner teleported away, and I was free to continue my journey after the Scythe of Justice. From day 32 to day 35, while I was searching through the deciduous forest, I found more pixies, orange ones this time. Hey, orange pixies! I'm in search of the Scythe of Justice, so I can put a stop to Mr. Boss's reign of terror. Any idea where I can find it?
Oh, the Scythe of Justice? I know a few things about it, but I'm sorry to tell you, you won't be able to find it here. Mr. Boss and his goons have been all over this forest. If they haven't found it, you won't find it here either.
Darn it! How about you guys head back to my base? We can talk more about it there. I'm gonna check just a little further, just in case. The orange pixies left to find their way back to my base while I continued searching. This was a decision I'd come to regret, as soon enough, Mr. Boss jumped out of the shadows again and hit me so hard I lost almost half my hearts.
Told you it was my turn. You think you can get away from me, you elemental dork? This is my world, and here what I say goes.
Not if I find the Scythe of Justice, then you're toast.
Big if for a little man. Time to take your lumps.
There's one problem, Mr. Boss. You can't fight me if you can't see me. I turned invisible right in front of Mr. Boss's face, then ran for the hills. I still wasn't strong enough to fight him just yet. From day 36 to day 39, I returned back to my base, feeling relieved that I'd managed to once again get away from Mr. Boss with my life. I don't want any more close calls like that. I need to be more careful. When I got settled back in, I decided to speak to the Orange Pixies about their knowledge of the Scythe of Justice. Please, tell me everything you know, Orange Pixies. Even the tiniest details might be useful.
According to our legends, the Scythe of Justice once resided in the forest, but it doesn't anymore. It was used by a great hero once in the past, and we believe this great hero may have left it among the dunes. You may have more luck finding it there.
The dunes, that's perfect. I'll go there soon. Thank you, Orange Pixies.
Don't mention it. Oh, one other thing. We couldn't help but notice you're making a statue. While we were waiting for you to come back, we decided to add a little to it. Mind taking a look, just to make sure we did it right?
I went to take a look and was so happy to find that the Orange Pixies had done an amazing job. It was even better than I could have imagined. You've done a fantastic job, guys. Thank you so much for your help. From day 40 to day 43, I was working on some improvements around my base when I saw a traveling scribe approaching the base. He came up and I decided to talk to him. Hey, Mr. Scribe, what brings you here?
I heard you're trying to take down Mr. Boss. He hasn't exactly been kind to me in the past, so I'm gonna give you some advice. Head to the Crag Gardens and go west. You'll find some diamonds that will help you on your quest.
That sounded like a good tip to me, so I went back to the Crag Gardens and went on a search west for the diamonds. But on the way, I ran into a dangerous Myrmex Queen, an insect-like monster who is definitely not friendly. Ugh, and I'm afraid of bugs at the best of times. This is the worst. Thankfully, she wasn't as strong as she looked, and I managed to take her down without too much trouble. Phew, I feel a lot safer now. It dropped Myrmex meat. Not sure that it's going to be tasty, but I am running out of apples, so I'm taking it. I continued my search west until, just as the scribe said, I found a bunch of diamonds scattered across the ground. Exactly what I needed. I traveled back to the base with the diamonds and crafted myself an awesome diamond sword. I can't wait to show this to Mr. Boss. He won't want to mess with me now. The Myrmex meat actually tasted better when cooked than I expected, although I think Gordon Ramsay would disagree. From day 44 to day 49, I headed out to the dunes. I hope I can find the Scythe of Justice out here. Now, if I was the Scythe of Justice, where would I be? As I was exploring and looking around the dunes for any sign of the Scythe, I spotted a Vindicator chef being attacked by a Gorgon. He was doing his best to fend off her attacks, but he was definitely in danger. Hey, you leave him alone! I grabbed my diamond sword and rushed in to help the Vindicator chef. With my help, we were able to defeat the Gorgon together. Phew, I'm glad I came along.
So am I. That was a real kitchen nightmare. I thought my goose was cooked. Is there anything I can do to thank you? I make a mean lasagna.
Thank you. Actually, there is something. Have you heard anything about a Scythe of Justice?
As a matter of fact, I met an iceologer when I was on a real experimental ice cream kick. Did you know mustard ice cream isn't very good? Anyway, he mentioned something about the Scythe. Maybe he can point you in the right direction. He lives at the top of that dune over there.
Thanks! From day 50 to day 53, I followed the directions given to me by the Vindicator chef. Hello, is there an iceologer around here somewhere?
No iceologer here, only your certain doom.
The Illusioner appeared in front of me, firing an energy blast right at me. Oh no, not you again!
Yes, Zozo, it is I. You have eluded me for too long, and now it is time to taste defeat.
No thanks, I'm not hungry. He attacked me again, but I was ready for him, and this time I was able to defeat him for good. I felt great. Now, where was I? I looked around and spotted a little house on top of the dune. Hello, the chef sent me. I'm Zozo. I'm looking for the Scythe of Justice. The iceologer came out of the house to greet me.
Hi, Zozo. Nice to meet you. I'm afraid I have some bad news, though. Mr. Boss's goons came through here and took the Scythe away earlier today.
Oh no!
But here, let me give you something. I hope it helps.
He handed me a splash potion of healing. I was feeling pretty discouraged about the Scythe, but with the Illusioner finally defeated, I knew I was making progress. I couldn't lose hope yet. From day 54 to day 57, I traveled back to my base. The Mountaineer was waiting for me.
Welcome back, Zozo. Hey, while you were gone, I decided to fix up the place a little bit. Take a look around. Let me know what you think.
I walked around and checked things out. He added some guard towers. These will be great for protecting the base. Thanks so much for your help.
Glad you like them.
Just then, Dottie the Dodo Hippogriff came running up to me.
Zozo, thank goodness you're back. I need your help. I left my multi-tool in the forest vault. Can you help me get it back? I'd go myself, but I don't have any fighting experience if the bad guys show up.
Sure, I'll go look for it now. I headed over to the forest vault and searched for the multi-tool. Hey, there it is. I grabbed it for Dottie and brought it back to my base without running into any trouble. Here you go.
Thank you, Zozo. Here, while you were gone, I found this for you. It's a flaming bow. Maybe you can use it.
From day 58 to day 62, one of the orange pixies came and woke me up.
Good morning, Zozo. Sorry to wake you, but I'm just too excited. Please, come and see the work we've done on the statue. It looks so good.
I went to check out the statue, and it was true. It looked awesome. This is so cool. Thank you for your hard work on it. But I didn't get to admire the statue for long. A group of skeleton vanguards ambushed me, and the orange pixie attacking us.
Well, well, well. Looks like Loser here got himself a loser statue.
It's an awesome statue. You're just mean. I did my best to fight them off, but I couldn't stop them from destroying the orange pixie. No, how could you?
It's fun to be bad. Duh.
I couldn't let them get away with that. I summoned the strength to keep fighting, and I defeated all of them except for one, who managed to get away and run off into the woods. I won't let them or Mr. Boss get away with this. From day 63 to day 66, I chased the runaway skeleton vanguard all the way to the dunes. The dunes? What's he doing all the way out here? As I looked around, I spotted an empty chest. Hey, I wonder if the scythe used to be in here. Then, of course, the vanguard popped up behind me.
Don't bother looking for the Scythe of Justice. It's long, long gone, hidden in a place where you'll never be able to find it. It's in the forest vault, but you'll never get it back. Ever. Oh, you're gonna cry about it?
There's nothing wrong with crying when you're sad, but no, not right now. First, I'm gonna fight you. I drew my sword and attacked the skeleton vanguard. This time, I was ready, and he couldn't surprise me. I was able to hit him with the flame bow and avenge the orange pixie. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to the forest vault again, but this time it looked different. Mr. Boss and his goons had definitely been here, and there was a squall golem standing at the entrance to the area.
Tiny, pathetic, showing up in places he shouldn't. You must be Zozo.
I'm not any of those things. Well, I am Zozo, but none of the other ones.
Run on home before I have to teach you a painful lesson.
Not without the Scythe of Justice! He just laughed at me, then rushed forward and attacked. I tried my best to fight back, but he was much stronger than me, and I was worried I wouldn't make it out of this one alive. He knocked me back. Uh-oh, I'm in over my head here. But I didn't have another choice. I had to keep doing my best. I climbed back to my feet and hoped my trusty diamond sword would be enough to save me. I dodged the squall golem's next attack and got the better of him.
Ow! That hurt, you little brat.
Before I could finish the fight, he ran off and disappeared from sight. No time to go after him. I have to get the scythe. From day 71 to day 74, I entered the forest vault to look for the Scythe of Justice. But there was nothing there. All I could find was a note.
Oops, guess you were too late. No scythe for Zozo. I took it for myself. Too bad, so sad. Signed, Mr. Boss.
Oh no, he already took it. I'll have to keep looking and find another way to defeat Mr. Boss. From day 75 to day 78, I returned to my base to try and figure out my next step. When I got there, the Mountaineer was waiting for me.
Hey, Zozo, you look kinda sad. What's wrong?
Mr. Boss took the scythe before I could get it. I'm so disappointed.
Maybe seeing some of these improvements I made to the base will make you feel better. Come check it out.
He had added banners and shelves while I was gone. Wow, these really tie the room together. Nice job.
Oh, also, I went out exploring and I found this.
Whoa, netherite ore! I can use this to upgrade my sword. I took the netherite ore and used it to craft a netherite sword. This is great! Thank you so much!
Oh, what a nice moment. Too bad I have to destroy you now.
The Squall Golem! He was back! But this time, I had a new, stronger sword to fight him with. When he attacked me, I dodged and came back at him with the netherite sword. Before too long, I had defeated the Squall Golem. I felt myself getting stronger, and my hearts increased to 60. I feel like I got a new skill. I concentrated and found out that I had a lightning strike ability now. After that, I spotted something on the ground. He must have dropped this. Hey, a map to the Black Forest. Guess I know where I'm headed next. From day 79 to day 84, I followed the map and traveled to the Black Forest. There's an X on this map. That usually means something important. Let's see, where's the X? Halt! Who goes there? A royal guard was blocking my path. I'm Zozo. Are you a goon of Mr. Boss? Heck no, I'm trying to defeat that guy. Fortuitous. I require help from a noble hero. I have misplaced a very important chest that holds something dear to my heart. Would you aid me in my search? In return, I can provide information about Mr. Boss. Sure, I'll look for it. I searched all over the Black Forest and finally found the chest. I opened it and found a gold sword inside. I brought it back to the guard. My lucky sword! Thank you! My mother gave this to me. I would be so upset if I lost it for good. Mr. Boss's base is located on the edge of the ancient forest. That's near my base. Way too close for comfort. I'll have to make sure I'm really ready when it's time to face him. Hey, do you want to come back to my base with me? I must attend to my royal duties, but thank you for your kind offer. On my way back to my base, I stopped by the secret cabin to visit the wind caller. Hey, I was wondering if you knew anything about Mr. Boss that might be helpful. I just found out he lives in the forest, not too far from my base, so I need to get ready fast.
As a matter of fact, yes, you should know that Mr. Boss is very vain, famously so. He can't stand it if someone makes fun of his amethyst crystal growing out of his back. If you insult his crystal, he will become distracted and upset. This will allow you to catch him off guard and may be the difference between victory and defeat.
Insulting his crystal? Good to know. Thanks for your help. From day 90 to day 94, I knew I needed to get to work upgrading my armor if I was going to be ready to take on Mr. Boss. So I headed down into the underground cavern and started mining. I mined harder than I'd ever mined before. My hard work paid off because I found some diamonds. Perfect! I rushed back to my base with the diamonds and used them to craft a full set of diamond armor. I'd like to see Mr. Boss try and beat me with this gear. From day 95 to day 97, the Mountaineer came to talk to me. Zozo, I have great news. We're almost finished with the statue. There's only one piece left that needs to be put in place, and we wanted you to be the one to do it. Really? Me? Yeah, it's your base, it's your statue. It would mean a lot for you to be the one to finish it. I followed him to the statue, and it really looked amazing. He handed me the last piece, and I placed it on the statue. Then I stepped back and looked up at it. Wow! The side of that giant elemental Enderman towering above me reminded me what I was fighting for. My species, the elements, and the world. It was a world worth fighting for, and I was going to try my very best. On day 98, I walked around my base, trying to get ready for my face-off with Mr. Boss. Zozo, I was looking for you. I wanted to talk to you about this Mr. Boss fight. I just wanted to say that you're gonna do great, and if you need any help, I can join you in the fight. Thank you, but I think I need to face him alone. I understand. Dottie the Dodo Hippogriff came to see me next.
Zozo, I know you're nervous, but you can do this. The good guy always wins, even when it seems like an impossible fight.
Thanks, we'll see how it turns out. And if you want to see more Zozo adventures, hit subscribe and ring the bell to make sure you don't miss them. I went to see the pixies, both pink and orange.
Zozo, thank you for everything you've done so far. It's been an honor to help you. It really has. Go show that mean Mr. Boss that nice guys don't have to finish last, and that being mean never pays in the long run.
You all believing in me so much really makes me feel like I can do it. On day 99, I traveled to Mr. Boss's base. It wasn't a very long walk. It had been nearby the whole time. I headed inside, ready for the fight of my life. Immediately, I was attacked by skeleton vanguards.
Hey, you weren't invited to this party. Get lost! Scram!
They attacked me, but with my new armor and my new sword, I was able to defeat them. After I finished with the skeletons, I saw a cage filled with elemental endermen. There you all are. I knew it. I'm not all alone. I have you guys. I let them out of the cage and showed them which way to run to escape. I'll see you all again soon. I have to finish this first. On day 100, I continued fighting my way through Mr. Boss's base. Out of nowhere, a squall golem appeared to attack me.
I've had just about enough of you.
He rushed at me with a melee attack, but my armor protected me from his damage. Ha! I was ready for you this time. I fought hard, rushing at him before he could attack again, and before I knew it, I had won! He dropped something when he went down, and I grabbed it. I can't believe it! It's the Scythe of Justice! Just in time for me to need it the most! I did a quick little celebratory dance, then continued my way through the base. Finally, I reached Mr. Boss's room.
I see you made it through my guards. I'm surprised. I thought you'd give up sooner for sure. Well, since you're here, I guess we'll get right to it.
He concentrated hard and started to transform. He grew into a bigger, stronger version of himself. Uh-oh. But I couldn't get discouraged now. I grabbed the Scythe of Justice and stood tall. Literally, I felt my bravery making me grow taller as I got bigger and stronger too. My hearts increased to 90, and I realized I had gained a new ability too. I was ready for the ultimate showdown. It was a tough fight. I was stronger, but so was Mr. Boss. As he knocked me back into the wall, I remembered what I had learned. Hey, what is that growing out of your back? It looks like a zit. Wait, it's supposed to be a crystal. Yikes.
What did you say about my amethyst crystal? How dare you? That is one of my finest possessions.
While he was distracted, I used my new ability, Sun God Blast. I unleashed the power of the sun, and Mr. Boss was defeated once and for all. With no more bad guys left to defeat, I traveled back home to my base, where my friends and family were all waiting for me. The pixies were dancing, Dottie and the mountaineer were eating pie, and all of the elemental endermen were waiting to tell me all about the elements. Yeah, things are gonna be good from now on.